Good morning, everyone.
Hey, Frank.
Hello. Yes.
Wow.
We're here.
We made it on air literally as the clock started running.
Yes. Perfect.
It's a record.
It's exactly the way we intended. Exactly. Everything has gone as precisely as planned.
we fell on air in true Nick Damon style.
Yes.
As if Nick was here himself.
Yes. Well, the only thing we haven't done is, are we live? Are we gone? Is it, are we out now? Let's wait. Talk for 30 seconds until we hear ourselves. Oh, no. Okay, now we're live. Okay, yes. Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here in Utrecht. I know I'm going to butcher that constantly. But anyway, we're here in Utrecht at the amazing Racco 2000 race facility. And I hear music. Am I intended to hear music? Is everyone else hearing the music? Okay.
However, it stops when qualifying starts, but the qualifying has started, so we should probably start moving the camera.
Yeah. Jim is still prepping. He's up there, though. But anyway, until we get Jim, can you hear us? Can you hear thumbs up if you can hear us? Yeah. Okay, yes. Turn on. I don't know what you're asking.
There we go. And we've got drivers, and we're ready to go.
I don't know what he can't hear me at all. That's fabulous. Okay, Jim can't hear me just yet, but he's I think that's what the hand motions mean. But anyway, if you were expecting to hear the dulcet tones of Matthew Guppy, unfortunately he's taken ill this morning or overnight. I'm not sure what's happening, but we've left him plenty of water and medicine and stuff like that outside his hotel room, and hopefully it has been picked up by housekeeping. But we'll be checking in with him during the day, and not live, but just to make sure he's okay. But anyway, I am here, Frank McKinney. We've got Jim Little on camera. We've got Matt McCallum and James Perry back in the studio in the UK, and they will be running operations, and I will be talking all day for everyone. So we are almost directly straight into what we like to call the fast guys. But everyone out here is fast. Everyone out here is way faster than I can possibly be at this stage in my racing career. This is Heat 8 that is out on track right now. As you can see, we've got Ben Smith leading from the UK, Florent Gallet, Baptiste Roch, Brent Daniels, Moritz Lautenbach, Sylvain Gallo-Selva, Jens Becker, Harry Mears, and Michael Katzmeyer. I think I missed one in there as they swapped around. So Heat 9 is out next. That's the third fastest group of racers. And then we've got 10 and 11. 11, of course, with our overnight TQ driver, Jorn Neumann. Now, he made a point to tell me that although there's 5 rounds of qualifying, we're in the fourth of the 5th rounds, and then obviously the 5th round that come up after this. He's not necessarily locked it in. He has TQ'd, I think, the 3 rounds. Correct me if I'm wrong there, guys. But he told me that someone could take it off of him if they TQ and run a faster time. So it's still open. I don't know how wide open it is because, to be honest, I was running around quite a lot yesterday getting photos and various things. Hopefully you saw those the reels that we were doing on EFRA's Facebook and Instagram.
All over it.
Good. So yeah, all I know really is that Jorn Neumann is at the moment TQ. So he hasn't locked it in, and he is well aware that someone could still yet take it off of him. And of course, TQ doesn't mean you're going to win. There's 3A finals that are going to be coming up later today, starting at 20 past 3, that's Central European time, and then 20 past 4 and 20 past 5. So those are the times of the A1, A2, A3s. Everyone else from the K all the way to the B just get a single run. So yeah. So this is my first time announcing this in quite a while. I think Bio-Delete was the last time I did it.
Well, yeah, and we've been listening to that overnight. The previous wins clip went live yesterday.
If you haven't seen that, check it out on the EFRA Facebook page. It's quite a good clip. There's a lot of great racing, great drivers on there, and some pretty good announcers, I must say.
I was thinking,
not myself, but the others.
I was thinking Lee Martin probably really wants Ollie Meggett to start commentating this class again.
Yeah.
Because if Ollie commentates it, Lee wins.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be super easy for Lee to come back. I know a lot of the Brit racers are. I don't know how many are doing great. I know Orlowski's up there, but I think he's running for Poland. So I think not UK. So, but he does live in the UK, doesn't he? So I don't know. Maybe he's like half
from time to time. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I think he races in the Polish Nationals as well. So dual passport holder. Maybe I don't know what the deal is there. Anyway, so where are these guys? This race is finished. So it's Florent Gallet, Baptiste Roque, Elias Johansson, Moritz Lautenbach. And Jens Becker as your top 5. So forgive us for leaving this race. We're just getting situated.
Can you, Frank? Can you just check the transmitter out of the headphone amplifier that will transmit to Jim is turned on?
Yes. You know what? In the infamous words of the Nick Damon, what do you think that we've had there?
An air gap.
Potentially. Okay, so you should be hearing us now, Jim, hopefully. Give us a thumbs up. Yes, got a thumbs up. So, yes, apologies for that, Jim. That was entirely just the franticness of getting ready. We didn't have batteries in that, but now it's all sorted, and he can hear us fresh batteries, so he can hear us all day.
So get your requests coming in, because now we can communicate with Jim and ask for specific cars. Little Style RC was asking for car 2. Apologies, you may have randomly got car 2 just by look, but we'll definitely try and get car 2 next time.
Yeah, that was Ben Smith from the UK that he was asking for. So I don't know how many. Obviously, I wasn't able to listen to the broadcast yesterday all that much, but I don't know how many requests we were able to do during the actual the top heats. I assume we're going to be going on the 5 or 6 fastest guys in each of those. This is Heat 9. It's out there now, just getting their warm-up lap in. So I'll run through the names in Heat 9. We've got all the different numbers. Okay, that's the numbers that are going to be sitting off. But starting from car 1, that's Neil Cragg. Car 2 is Tim Dubel. Max Gotzel in car 3. Pekka Väivänen in car 4. Senne Pauwels. Jesper Rasmussen. Matthew Peters. Kai Koenig. Wouter Weinen. And Daniel Pohl. That's your cars 1 through 10. They will be setting off in a different order. Based on their current standing in qualifying. So Max Gotzel in car 3 is going to be off first. Jesper Rasmussen, then Neil Cragg. Neil Cragg, of course, former world champion, and I think he is a former European champion and many-time British champion. Is that correct? So that's car 1. So he'll be the third one off the line. Max Gotzel, that green, will be the first one. Cars, those are first 3 that are setting off. So. Basically, it just allows for less blue flag sort of lapping going on. Start off with the first car off. That'll be the green car. It'll be Max setting off. So this is from a standing start. So the first lap is going to be a bit slower, obviously, going up the triple and going up the step-ups. Bruno was telling us yesterday on the X-Ray track walk. He was walking around with Martin Bayer. That step-up area is going to be a very busy place indeed once it comes down to racing for real. Obviously, these guys still all on their own individual clocks, and that's why they're getting nice and spread out. There's already, who is this that is a bit slow? The car, I think it's car 4. Pecco maybe got held up somewhere. There's a big gap between him and the car in front of him on the track. But we're following Max. So the first lap, Jesper is quickest, but we'll let these guys go for a couple laps before we start to actually pay real attention, because the standing lap start obviously is going to be quite a bit slower than the flying lap. So Max, who we are on, going through there. So that step up is going to be pretty interesting. to keep an eye on during the main races. The Black S's is what the locals call that one. And then we got the double-double. Of course, most of these faster guys able to do those in 2 easy, fairly easy runs. Now, we try to stay abreast of the racer social media. Bruno saying his first day of qualifying didn't quite go as planned, making a lot of mistakes. So just showing how difficult it is, even for the best drivers in the world, to keep it rubber side down. As we're following Max, he's already coming up to lap someone. Can't tell what car that is just yet. This car is very, very quick, and my eyes not getting any younger. Ooh. Max. Ooh. Oh, lucky roll. Champion's roll. Oh, and another one. Well, it's still not fast, but it's faster than landing on your lid. Ooh, very lucky there to avoid the marshal. So Max, is his eye getting taken away by the... Oh, that was good. That was very smart driving there. Going over the crashed car. So I do apologize for not being able to identify these guys by their racing colors. That will come as hopefully as the day wears on. So let's drop down to let's see if we can find the car number 1 of Neil Cragg. He should have some fairly familiar colors for followers of RCTV and EFRA. I'll try and spot him. I only really see the cars as they're going past us in the far corner. So car 1 coming down the double-doubles now, Jim, towards you. Coming over the red jump. And I'll probably also name various areas of the track slightly differently than Guppy. So, again, all apologies. So work with us and we'll work with you. And we'll have some pretty good coverage during the day. That's the off-camera corner as he's going around that weird little hairpin. And that's a very tricky double there. I don't even know what that is. Coming over the red jump now. Oh, well, 2 red jumps. I don't want to make things confusing. The final jump is what he's going over now, down the main straight, pit straight. It's a very short straight, actually. And I know I am definitely no current season 10th Buggy racer, but I have seen a few people comment on some of the socials and saying it's a shame that this is a 1/8 track. I understand the sentiment, but I don't really see these drivers having any real problem with these. Maybe the jumps are a little bit bigger, but that just makes them American size, really. So I don't know. Post your thoughts in the various chats. I mean, anything that makes it a challenge. You know, we see these in full scale motorsport from MotoGP to F1. They're constantly changing things for the drivers, and the drivers are always complaining that, you know, oh, it's so much harder now. So that is time expired. Neil is the last one of the last ones to cross the track, and there he goes, finishing second. So apologies, we didn't cover everybody, but hopefully we covered some of the favorites. I got them mentioned. Pecco finishing 4th in that one, just crossing now. Matthew Peters, still waiting for him to cross. Not sure if he crashed out or not. But the finishing order, Jesper Rasmussen, Neil Cragg, Max Gotzel, Pecco, Ivanen, who we're going to see in a couple of weeks is that 2 or 3 weeks in the Czech Republic running large-scale off-road. So had a very short chat with him. He's not the chattiest. He's Finnish. You know, that's just how they are. Oh, sorry, they're on the last lap now, so they are finishing. But yeah, he did confirm he's going to be in the Czech Republic, so it'll be nice to see him there. We're going to have a moving camera and 3-man team there, so that'll be pretty good. Jim, once again, will be, I believe he'll be on camera for most of the time period there. So that is everybody finished. Neil actually finishes on top. Max Gotzel, Jesper Rasmussen, and Pecco, and then Daniel Pohl. So apologies for I'm getting used to the timing screen as well as the track layout, the track naming, the drivers, and the drivers. Well, basically just everything. So we're working on it.
There's a weird countdown thing happening there because I'm pretty sure
that?
the clock's getting to 0. The countdown timer. I'm pretty sure the clock's getting to 0 and then showing the 45 seconds in red. I need to watch it again to see what's going on there, but
yeah, I'm not sure. I mean,
happening.
obviously, every track that we go to, they tend to use they may use a MyRCM for the live streaming, but the local timing system will be different at each track. So
yeah,
we have to. If it sounds like we don't know what we're looking at, sometimes we don't. That's just how it is.
May as well be honest.
Yeah. So here's something I noticed yesterday when I was on the rostrum. You see these drivers who are normal height, like normal adult male height, and they're still grabbing the little stools on the rostrum. So you see David Ongaro, Martin Bayer. I see. Is that Bruno next to Martin? There's Noah Ben Mohammed. I assume.
Boda.
Clement Boder. Yeah, loads of them. About half of them are on the little folding stool stands, and some of them are even they have like sponsor stickers on them. So they, that's my one. So yeah, it's interesting that even fully grown adults are using these.
Interesting thing about that is because we were in the pre-meeting with Paul Worsley and the team running the event, and on one of those posts on the driver's stand will be a piece of tape, and if you are shorter than that, if you're taller than that piece of tape, you're not allowed to use a stool.
Yes.
So I guess
I can see the tape. I can see the tape. You see it between Lee Martin and the chap next to his left in the Schumacher shirt. If the chap in the Schumacher hoodie leans forward just a there, you can see
there
it.
There he is.
The white.
There it is.
So that okay. Well, how weird of a rule is that?
That's a Paul Worsley. That's a Paul Worsley special. That is.
I had to, unfortunately, and I do apologize completely to Paul. I was trying to get the timings for us so we know exactly what was happening, and he started to go into a big thing about how this is the same spreadsheet I've been using for 15 years, and he started pulling out different. I'm like, I'm really sorry, Paul, but we're a man down today, and we're just trying to set up everything. So please, can I hear about this later, please? I was like, oh my gosh, and he was like, yes, I understand. Sorry.
Let's do Paul Worsley the podcast. I think that's what we need.
Yes. I think it'll need to be like a PowerPoint. Oh, is that Burek getting hung up on the pole there? That's unfortunate. Who's that? He's letting David Ongaro past. So no bad blood between those two. But we'll see what Martin Bayer has to say anything about it as Burek comes up on him. So we've got David Ongaro in the lead car. So let's follow him for a bit. Just make it easy, and then we'll try and do a lap each on these guys. So make it maybe 2 laps, make it a little bit less busy on ourselves. But David Ongaro going up the step-ups around the danger pole. I know we've got the cone of justice, which is coming up just about now. There it is, just before the black S's. Coming over the big red jump. And then down the double-double. There is a weird step up, sort of like little jump there. And then the last jump there, going down the main straight. Now that's a lap of the track with David Ongaro. It's just going around the 2 hairpins. And then there's the triple. So if we drop back 1 car to Burak Kilic, the number 0. Jim, drop back 1 car. And there we go. The bluey sort of car with the white wheels. That's Burak Kilic in the 0. Going down the double-double. It's almost, it is sort of a chicane. I don't know if you call that a chicane. But anyway, he's down the pit straight. Hairpin turn at the end. I'm very curious to see how they alter the track for four-wheel drive. There are some very obvious, if you look flashing past various parts of the coverage on the camera, you'll see red and white boards in various places. So I'll be curious to see how they rearrange the track basically for four-wheel drive. I think this is one of the few tracks where I think Robin Hood was pretty good about it because they have multiple sort of areas that they can run and basically just go with the lay of the land. So if we drop back another car to the bright orange car, we'll see who that is. That is Noah Ben Mohammed, X-Ray racer. So he might have something to say. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on him because the Killiches and, dare I say, the X-Rays have a little bit of history. Oh, and he gets stuck on the final hairpin just before the big red jump, last big jump. It's going over the triple, more single-double. Curious if the four-wheel drives are going to be able to do clear that in one go. Probably not. It's not much of a run-up, really. Going over the danger jumps, over the black S. He didn't lose a huge amount of time. Pretty good marshalling for that number 9. Oh, now he's stuck. Hits a pipe. Okay, so we'll follow the next, the two cars about to go into the first corner now. There we go. Yeah, these two. We'll see who these are. These should be Mika Widmeyer. No, might be Clement Bowden and Lee Martin. I think that is Lee's color. Clement running the number 3 and Lee running the 6. Yep, that is Clement. Oh, no, it's the 5 of Mika Widmeyer. Sorry. These guys are all on their own individual clocks. Just happen to see Lee tumble over a bit just in front of us, so he's going to lose a little bit of time on this current lap. So he might drop down a bit. Currently running 3rd, so we'll see where he comes in. Has he crossed the line yet? So we're with Clement Bowden. One of the names I'm not super familiar with, but we had a little bit of interaction last year with RCGP, so it's good to see some new faces, new names. He's quite a young driver from France. He's one of these quite shy, doesn't want to give away maybe that he doesn't speak the greatest of English, but he probably speaks English far, far better than my French. So, you know, fair enough. Running sort of a, is that kind of a Ronafalky sort of color. Speaking of which, Ronafalk is not here. Apparently, Neumann, or was it Guppy, noticed that he was on the entry list, but just for whatever reason, not here. We don't know why. Too busy running on-road. Winning on-road, I should say. So, let's see, we're with Clement. So, if we've got Ben behind him. Mika, where's a friend of RCTV? Car number 6, Jim, just about these eyes in the middle of the double doubles now. He's just got flipped over. He's the third of the cars coming past you now, Jim. There we go. That's Lee Martin. Nemo racer when he's running Nitro, but a Schumacher racer when he's running 10th Buggy. Coming down the ramp around the off-camera corner into the danger jumps. Cone of Justice, black S's, big red jump, and then down the double-double. I think he's hasn't had a good couple of laps. Is he going to pop up? Yeah, he's popped back up into 3rd. So that's his race finish. But we'll follow him around, give him a little bit of love. We do like a bit of Lee. Whoa, nice clearance on those danger jumps. Why don't you just do that every time? And then around the final hairpin and getting picked up by the Schumacher guys. Schumacher guys, I must point out, they're the only team here in white shirts. So very confident on one side about not having to do too much wrenching. And also they stick out quite a bit. That's nice. Good to see white shirts making a comeback. I was actually at Download Festival a few weeks ago, and I was very interested in getting a Bad Religion shirt because they're literally the only rock band that has white shirts.
Navarro was in a white shirt.
Yeah, is he? Yes, he is.
He just walked past the camera in a white shirt. So.
Yeah, I remember.
I beg to differ.
But yeah. But
and you know the thing about Jorn? You know the thing about Jorn? Is it because he's not wearing a hat? Is that why he's being so successful?
And no
because
sunglasses.
Literally, Bruno's not wearing a hat either.
No,
Bruno doesn't ever wear hats.
But yeah. Jorn usually does. Jorn has also changed his paint scheme completely. There's no black on it. He's running a clear wing, front and rear, where he usually runs black wings. You know what I mean? So it's like it's one of these. I first noticed it was Jacques Villeneuve when he changed teams from he's dropped by Benetton or whatever. He went to whatever team, and David Coulthard did it as well when he was dropped by McLaren and he went to Red Bull. Bleached his hair, changed his helmet style and everything. So it's one of these sorts of like I'm with a new sponsor now, so I'm just going to change everything about myself. And it's one of these like sort of reinventing sort of things. And I don't know, maybe it's that, maybe it's the car, who knows. But obviously, very, very quick. Yeah.
There is just so you know, we're not ignoring you. There are literally several hundred comments already this morning.
Good.
We'll get to you after this one. We've been kind of focused on, because we started with the top heats. We fell on air in a traditional sense. We started with the top heats, but we'll have a few moments to relax and have a chat with you guys at home watching. Thanks for being with us. Thanks to Schumacher, Hobbywing, X-Ray, Rudog.eu, and S-Works, and of course EFRA.
Yes, definitely. This is the 2023 European Championships for 1/10 scale 2-wheel drive buggy. We've got 4-wheel drive starts tomorrow. We won't have live coverage of it, I don't think, but we will have attempt to have some stuff going on. So we're going to follow Jorn Neumann, our overnight TQ. We're going to pay very special attention to him. We're not going to follow him for the entire run. We do want to see what Orlowski, who's the next car behind, and Marcus Carup have to say about Jorn's TQ potential. Again, 2 runs counting out of the 5, and we've got Paul Worsley in the booth. He's not on the mic, but maybe Paul will be able to expound at some point during the day why only 2 rounds out of the 5 count. So I know that there are some questions about that, and I'd love to be able to explain it to the people who do wonder. But yes, Jorn's position as TQ at the moment is not secure, and he's very well aware of that as he's coming around the black S's, making a little bit of a mistake off the landing there, off the danger jumps, going over the big red jump now, down the double-double. If we drop back 1 car to the Polish driver of Michał Orlowski, is how you're meant to pronounce his name in proper Polish, but we call him Michael, or most people call him Michael. I like to use the authentic pronunciation name of whoever's name that I'm talking to. But we'll just keep it from Michael for now. Coming over the danger jumps, was that a lucky bounce or is this that skill? I'm going to call it skill. Going over the big red jump. Number 1 car going down the double-doubles now, around the hairpin, over the final jump. And let's make it busy for ourselves. Drop back to the next car of, I think it's going to be number 9 to Marcus Carup, coming up the step-ups. Oh, bit of trouble around the danger, what is that? The danger pillar, I was calling it. So he got a big gap now to Michael, but not as was at the car 2 of Wesley Van Helmen, Dutch racer. So a lot of Dutch dreams are based on him. We were accosted by a Dutch guy in the car park as we were parking up this morning, helping us get in position. A very, very tight position for the Hyundai i10. But because it's such a tiny car, I was able to squeeze in, and he was chatting to us in Dutch, and we're like, sorry, mate. And anyway, he said, you're English. Okay, well, I'm cheering for... there's the car 2 behind. Was that Van Helmen making a mistake? Well, anyway, that was our friend's pick, was Wesley Van Helmen. He's been racing. First came across him in Valladolid many, many years ago. And we're still with, I believe, Orlowski. So who's this coming around that black S is over the big red jump? Yeah, it's the car 2. That's Van Helmen. I almost said Van Helsing. He's not a comic book character. So he's come up in... I can't get the number. I want to say that's Orlowski. Coming around the step up. Off camber corner. Coming down the danger jumps. Cone of Justice. Catches him. Oh! Black S's. Okay, well, that ended up the way it's supposed to, really. Orlowski hit it, and he was set down first by the marshal. So, I don't know how people do it, but, if you caused the crash, because he did collect Wesley there. So, back up the step-ups. And so now, are these guys, well, I was going to question whether they're taking each other. Oh, yes, there goes Orlowski. That might be his TQ potential gone now. I'm getting my numbers mixed up here. I do apologize. I can only see them as they go directly in front of us on the far corner after the big red jump. So that's the only time I can actually see the numbers. Who's that? Yes, Marshall has to put him down on the correct side of the track. Sometimes it's hard to know. So, who are we with here, Jim? Let's stick with this third car. Oh, jeez. That is not great. Not great. Now he's got a massive gap. That's the car 2, I think, of Van Helmond. He's dropped way down the order now. 4th at the moment. He was running 2nd or 3rd. Everybody on their own individual time, so they're not really supposed to interfere with each other or block. It does happen, but that's what the referees are for. We've got 2 different referees. Bjorn, who we see quite a lot, and local racer, or local referee, I believe. Bjorn, I believe, an official EFRA referee this week, rather than just a race announcer. So coming down. Ooh, oh, cone of justice again! Wow, that thing likes to stick itself out in front of whoever it comes across. And that is runs completed for, I was going to try and drop back to Coelho, but he's finished 3rd. Van Helmond, 4th. So Jorn takes that one, 11 laps in 28.342. Orlowski, Bruno, Van Helmond, Kobovic, Tommy Hall. Jamie Hall finishes 9th. Luke Holdsworth, Marcus Karup in 7th and 8th, and Una Hatanen in 10th.
So that wraps it up for Jorn then?
I think so. I mean, that's...
Well, he's
is that
TQ'd 4 rounds out of 5.
Right, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to decipher the side tie table thing here. Is that all look correct to you, Paul, as far as the overall? Okay. So, yeah, so overall at the moment, after 4 rounds out of 5 completed, Jorn Neumann, Michael Orlowski, Marcus Karup, Wesley Van Helmond, David Ongaro, Burak Kilic, Daniel Kobovic, Clement Boda, Alexander Landon, and Mika Vidmeyer. Okay, and he did the fastest time as well. Wow, 11 laps in 5:04.887. Yeah, wow. So, yeah, Paul just pointing out that Jorn's run just now was his fastest run yet. So,
wow.
There
we go on the screen. I think we have.
He's not hanging about. There we go. There's our. So on 0 points with. Is that 4? I'm trying to decipher this thing. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, but that wraps it up. Yeah. Yeah. 4 zeros, and that's it. So now it's down a race for 2nd position on the starting grid. So should we? Do you want to bring Paul in, Matt?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to grab the mic there, Paul, and we'll bring up once you get it on. I'll bring you up on the fader. Unmute it. Okay. Do you want to give us a little hello?
Yeah. Hello.
All right. Hello. There's Paul. Paul Worsley, section chairman for 1/10 Buggy. Is that correct? Okay.
Yep.
Just want to. So now there's. No, I mean, this is where I consider this is an EFRA broadcast. So we hear things
all the time.
The first thing I'd like to not quiz you about or interrogate, but just get an explanation. Why is it 2 rounds out of 5?
So simple. It used to be 3 rounds out of 5.
Yeah.
3 rounds of 5 is difficult. Especially if you've got a very technical track, lots of jumps, easy to make the error, like this track we're now.
Yeah.
But the main reason for it was that in 1998 we had a Euros in UK at Teesside.
Right.
It was on grass, with, as most of them were in those days, with a big bank corner at the end of the straight made out of banking and plywood, etc. And two-wheel drive was okay, not a problem. When it came to four-wheel drive, this was a full event with 150 drivers, 15 heats.
Wow.
And it started to rain on the first day of qualifying for qualifying one.
I think I've seen pictures of this
from
way back when, yeah.
It started to rain around about heat 10 or 11.
Yeah.
I can remember the commentator at the time, Brian Harris, saying, William Mitchum is circulating in 25.3 and, the rain's coming down. 28.6, 29.7, 32 point. Now, this happened again in round 2 at the same heat. It happened again in round 3, more or less the same heat.
Right.
It meant that on that first day, over those first 3 qualifying rounds, all the top heats, 5 of them maybe, 4 of them at least, none of them had a good run in comparison to all the others. With 3 rounds to count, and only 2 rounds remaining the following day, there was no way they could do anything.
Yeah.
They're finished. There was 20 of them that didn't even bother to come out of the hotel the next day and come to the track because there was no point.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember my son, who was racing at the time, was in the same heat as Craig Drescher in heat 12, I think. Craig ended up in the E final. My son ended up in the F final.
Right.
The only driver out of those top heats that made the A final in that four-wheel drive event was Jukka Stenari.
Right.
And so many people were saying, this is crazy, the event is ruined because we just can't get it on.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't control the weather.
Yeah, yeah.
But it seemed to me 3 out of 5 is difficult anyway. So I proposed it with 2 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Then the first day, if you had a really, really bad day, for whatever reason, your fault, weather, whatever, at least you could get your act together, come back the next day, and you could still be in the event, you could still kick you and win even.
Yeah, yeah.
To make it a lot more open for people to get a good event.
Yeah.
And it's been the same ever since 1999.
Right. Now you bring up another point that I wanted to talk about, was that you proposed the rule. So you were part of the BRCA organization at that time?
In those days, I was on the BRC off-road committee.
Yeah.
I wasn't the chairman then.
Okay.
My son was still racing then. But I proposed it to BRCA official, who then put it into EFRA.
Right.
And I was at the EFRA meeting to explain my reasonings, and everybody said, sounds good to us.
And that's exactly the point I wanted to make, was that people ask about, why is the rule like this? Well, someone has to propose it to a federation, and the federation, which in this case being BRCA, but it could be DMC, or it could be ACAR, or it could be
AKK,
AMSHI, or any of the country federations across Europe can put in a proposal for a rule, and then you present your reasoning at the AGM, and then it's voted on it at the AGM. So that's how rules are changed and updated over time. So if there's any of our viewers, especially because they're not aware, and which is fair enough, but I'm trying to make sure that we do explain why these rules are in place and how they get changed. So things like 5-cell touring car, or whatever sorts of changes of rules, from technology to weather to track changes, all sorts of things.
And of course, the other thing to consider within this subject is that this is not a closed book, in as much as that somebody could put in a proposal and nobody knows about it until the day of the AGM. That doesn't happen. All the proposals are visible to anybody on the website. Yeah. So when a proposal goes in from a federation, it has to be from a federation, not an individual. Yeah. Anybody can read and think about it over the coming weeks before the AGM.
And discuss it with the other federations, and maybe go, well, maybe it should be this. And then, as not obviously not everybody's able to, just obviously I say just the racer, but normal racers aren't maybe able to see everything that happens at an AGM. So even just explaining the proposal that gets through, it can even be amended at the time.
Of course.
So if someone goes, okay, well, let's change it to, just for sake of argument, change it to 3 out of 5. But someone might say, well, if the weather stays a particular, if the weather stays consistent and everybody agrees, or the weather completely changes and everybody agrees that it has completely changed, then we use this rule or we use that rule. And so it can be amended even before it gets voted in.
I mean, very often this happens, very often. The very fact that we're open and anybody can read the proposals and discuss it with their colleagues in their own country, speak to their federation, we've got a better idea. The rule amendment sounds sensible, but we can make it even better.
Yeah.
And this happens because people have got the time to read it, think about it, and maybe come up with a better idea.
Yeah.
And then this is proposed as an amendment to the proposal, and we discuss it, and if it sounds better, then we go with the amendment.
Yeah. It's not a dictatorship. It's not, there's no one person choosing it, and even the people like yourself who are on the EFRA board, it's not like they're going, okay, we say it must be like this. It all has to be voted in. All has to be proposed and discussed and then voted in by, and not even by EFRA officials. No. All EFRA does really is just sort of
manage it
and just say, okay, well, this is how we're going to do the voting then, and so and then count the votes at the end. So.
I don't have a vote.
Yeah, and then obviously you wouldn't have a vote on 1/8 track. No. So which is where we're going to be at next week, or large scale touring car, which I'm going to tomorrow. So busy boy this week. But it's just as an explainer.
I mean, one thing I would say about it is that within the EFRA board, you've got the different section chairmen for the different sections, and of course they've got the experience within their own section. But we all help each other as much as we can, because very often we hear of things that were a problem at an event, and we may have had that similar problem in another section and found a way of stopping it from happening. Yeah. And we could say, well, why don't you do this, this, and this, and then you won't have that problem. Yeah. Oh, wow, thanks.
Yeah.
And we do help each other a lot.
And there are definitely some rule differences between, for instance, because I go to so many different events, I don't remember what all the rules are. So in this one, for example, only the A finalists have a triple leg final. Everyone else has a single final, whereas in touring car, I don't know, but I think it's probably different.
It's 3.
It's 3 for everybody? Yeah, so it's, they're all, everyone sticks with sort of the traditional sort of sense of how they run the rules. But anyway, I wanted to get you on the line, and just.
I mean, that particular one, there was a proposal put through this last year for this section to have 3-leg finals for everybody. But I know that if you have a quite full event, the schedule just won't allow you to get.
You're making it 3 times longer, basically.
And I did some quick calculations, and I said, not going to work. Okay, if you only had 7 or 8 heats, you could do it.
Yeah.
And so we amended the proposal at the AGM to read, if the time schedule allows.
Yeah.
And here I worked it all out. If we were to run 3 finals for all finals, it would add another 3 hours 10 minutes on to today.
And we'd be finishing at about 9 p.m. tonight.
We'd be giving the trophies out at 9:10.
Yeah. And that always takes longer than it's meant to. So, yeah. All right. Well, that's excellent information. Thank you very much. Paul Worsley from EFRA, section chairman for the 1/10 Buggy section for EFRA. And obviously he's overseeing things. He's not running the event. Obviously it's the local club is running it. There's different events. Different people, a very large group of people running. So we seem to have a guppy in the thing. How you feeling? Queasy still? Yeah. All right. No worries. So yeah, we. All right. So, thank you very much, Paul.
No problem.
It's excellent insight and great information.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. And like I said, it's just one of these things that just want to make sure people are aware of these things when they go like, why does EFRA do this? It's like, well, it's not, let's just explain it. Step back a bit. Let's just explain it a tiny bit.
You'd probably be surprised at how many people have asked me questions in the 3 days so far this week, and questions just like you've asked.
Yeah.
I can say to him, I can tell you exactly why it's done like that. This went wrong 20 years ago, so we changed it.
Yeah.
This is my 29th Euros without missing one.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Excellent stuff there from Mr. Paul Worsley. So, we are in Heat 2 of, let me see. So this is Group 2?
Yep. Group 2 are out now for their fourth.
It says Q4 on the screen, so it should say Q5, shouldn't it? Oh no, Q4. Okay. Yes, okay. It's Paul's magical spreadsheet. Yes, sorry. Confused myself.
And then for Q5 there's a break.
Yes.
Because
we've got a big...
That guy has been on in this round last. And then he's back on again there, so he's got to have enough time.
Yeah.
So there's a break between the finish of that and the start of that.
Right. Okay.
So that guy doesn't get caught out of it.
Okay. No problemo. All right. So
there's an hour between that and that.
Yeah.
29 without missing. 1995 was the first one.
Okay. So where are we at here? We got Cyril. Oh, thank you very much. Cyril Archie Bowman, UK from the UK, leading this one at the moment. Cyril Costaldo, Cone Middle Coupe, Thomas Lepap, Viktor Litvinenko from the Ukraine. Robert Scar, there's 5 racers here, I think, or 5 spaces at least allocated for Ukrainian racers. Robert Scar, Joseph Cockle, John Morils, Brian Preddy, and of course, as I'm reading them out, they're switching around and moving all over. So let me just bring in the Mr. Gups.
Very late good morning to everybody. Sorry about that. That was a slightly nightmarish start to today, but hopefully my throat's going to hold out for the rest of the day now. It's been a bit of a rough morning, shall we say. How's it been going here, Frank? How have you been getting on?
Been all right. Must say my vaunted stomach of iron is still holding true. I mean, we literally shared food last night. Chopsticks going into the same dishes.
It wasn't the
same amount of drinks. So there's no idea what may have been.
I've got no idea. I woke up at about it must have been about 3:45 this morning, and you only wake up with a headache, and you kind of go, "What's going on? That's a bit weird." I haven't drunk very much. Didn't eat anything dodgy.
No.
Very, very odd. And within an hour of tossing and turning and getting hot and then cold and then hot and cold, all of a sudden it was not a pleasant time anymore. So, yeah, that was how the morning started. So yeah, apologies to everybody out there that we haven't started how we would have done normally.
I'll tell you how we did start. I don't know if you caught the very beginning of the...
Go on, I didn't know.
We were rushing. I mean, you'll see plastic bags on things.
Nice.
Because we are expecting... I think we have an 80... When I woke up this morning, we had an 80% chance of showers. So we have no idea when the showers might come.
Okay.
You know, it is a coastal country.
We had some last night, didn't we? There was a couple of showers that passed though. I know when I went downstairs last night and popped outside, there was certainly a very light shower going on. Nothing too major or anything that I thought would have affected this morning. But how was the track when you got here? Was it wet?
It was a bit wet, yeah. But it wasn't sodden. Obviously, they did a complete round of free practice, and we came on air literally as the bell of the fifth round of qualifying started with Heat 8.
Oh, brilliant.
Jorn Neumann has, with 4 zeros, has now solidified TQ. So it's a race for second spot on the grid.
Crikey.
And obviously, I wasn't listening to the broadcast yesterday, so I only know that Jorn Neumann was. I was like, okay, there's the major names, but I don't know who's the danger guy. So anyway, so
everybody in the top 30 is a danger guy at the moment. Apparently,
yeah, I know. I mean, David, what was he? He's in the third fastest or second fastest group.
Yeah,
and there he is in fourth at the moment. We saw Van Helmond make a bunch of mistakes. Even Bruno saw him make 1 or 2 mistakes. We couldn't focus on everybody, obviously, because it's quite action packed at the sharp end of the at the grid. But if you are you able to speak, or are you?
I mean, I am speaking at the moment.
Well, yeah. All right.
It's I am. Of course, I'm able to speak. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been here yet. But my throat's a bit dodgy, so do keep an ear out, Frank. That would be wonderful.
Well, just give me a wave, because I'll be
drinks.
Yeah, I'm
the order of the day.
Yes. Well, this you're welcome to finish off this water. I did start it, but
thank you.
It's you're welcome to have that. I made a point. I was even having tap water all day yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
From the tap. Why buy it when it's just right there?
Well, we have water in here. It would have been.
Yeah, but this was your guys' water, the Jumbo water.
Hey.
So we're seeing the races from that Heat 3 come out and check their times.
Who have we got with us, Frank? Is Matt here? Is James here? I know we've got wonderful Jim up on the camera doing some awesome shots. Had some lovely compliments in my messages for you, Jim, yesterday. He's given us a wave, bit of a fist pump in the air. You know what he's like by now.
Giving the big Texas woohoo, just like Jorn Neumann is to everybody in the rest of the top 20 or 30 racers.
High-fiving everybody in the pit.
Everybody.
No one wants to look at him.
I'm just going to say that about everybody. It's just like everybody's being very un-German and un-British and doing the whole full American, yeah, suck on that, man. Doing that.
Yeah.
They're not. No one is actually doing that.
Every
single one of these racers is very, very low key. No one is out there. I mean, they know. These guys race each other probably every month, so at least. So
have you told everybody about our trip into town last night?
No.
It wasn't a full on trip into town. We had a lovely walk in through Utrecht, down through the main strip, was it?
We saw some canals and lots of Dutch-style bicycles.
Many bicycles.
Yeah.
Many bicycles everywhere. And we stopped at a little, what was it, a Vietnamese restaurant?
Yes.
We did.
Yeah. Literally on the street. If you stuck your elbow out, it would get caught by someone's handlebar. That's how close to the street we were.
We were next to the house with a roof that went nowhere.
Yeah, very tricky sort of... optical illusion sort of house.
And loads of art all over the place. It's a lovely town, actually. If you are over this way and you're visiting the club, make sure you do pop into Utrecht, because there's some awesome little restaurants and just nice places down there to go and see.
Yeah, speaking of which, do want to mention that, because one of the guys in the pits mentioned that I heard this is the last race. This club's going to be shutting down, and I asked Bjorn about that, because obviously he's Dutch and so he knows every Dutch person and every Dutch thing. And he said, actually, no, the club is not going to be shutting down.
Woo!
It's the company that is directly behind the massive red wall. They want to buy the club. They want to buy the land of the club. And he said a number of 1.5 million euros.
Wow.
That's what they've offered the club. But the club has then gone to the city and gone, okay, we have an offer to buy our location, but we need a place to actually build a new facility. And there are no facilities nearby or any land nearby that they can buy for 1.5 million euros. So therefore, the company's not going to be buying the place.
No.
So the club will be sticking around.
So it's worth more than 1.5 to them, really?
Probably.
Wow.
Probably.
Mind you, 1.5 million euros. What's
Hello.
that? Oh, hey, Matt. How you doing?
Hello. Yeah, very good. I was thinking the one cool thing about having a full team now, Frank, we can get interviews.
He wants me to do
maybe
stuff
from
now. He wants me off the
maybe
mic.
from Heat 8. Heat 8 upwards. We can interview the winner of each heat, and then obviously that will end with us talking to Jorn TQ. So we can do interviews on the driver's stand.
If you let me know who those are, and I will seek them out.
Yeah, well, you'll be stood by the timing screen as well. So you'll be up there.
Oh, you mean today?
By the timing screen.
On this round. Okay, yes, sorry.
Yeah, this is the last round, I think.
Yes,
so,
yes. I thought you meant me go grab them now and talk to them. But yeah,
oh no, this is not the last. Yeah, when in Q5.
Yes.
The the top heats, the top 3 maybe heats. We can talk to the winner of each. That'd be really cool.
Okay.
What are we starting with in Q5? Frank, what heat are we starting with there?
We are currently on heat 4.
Just finishing off Q4, aren't we?
Yes. So,
so
just keep in mind that you have to look at the actual times.
Yeah,
it's not just going, I got mixed up. With Paul Worsley standing here, it's like next to his
this is heat 3.
Spreadsheet.
Then we're going to get up to heat 7. And heat 7 will end qualification 4. And then it'll be around 10 past 12. And then we'll start with heat 11. And then
so
heat
that's
10,
about
then
a
heat
20-minute break there.
Yeah.
Literally, between the heats, we've got about a 20-minute break, and then we're coming back in straight in with heat number 11, which is obviously the top heat. And then we'll switch back to heat 1 straight after that. Oh, no, we're running backwards, aren't we? So we're running from the top back.
Yes.
So I think interviews for 11, 10, and 9 would be really cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, we know the mic works, and you wanted to do that on the rostrum cam.
Yep.
Is that right?
You'll be up there with them. You'll be able to grab them as soon as they're finished.
Yeah. So no magical dongle placement on our equipment. Okay.
You can save that for another day.
Tomorrow. Okay. Well, I'll maybe shoot off and get some.
Are you going to shoot off, are you, Frank?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
What do you want me to do now, Matt?
You can shoot off if you want.
Yeah, man. Let's do content.
Okay.
Okay, let's mute them off a minute, Frank. So we're going, chaps, we'll be back in a moment.
So yeah, as we were saying, this is heat 3 in their 4th round of qualifying. We're running right the way up to heat 7, and you're watching the EFRA 2-wheel drive 1/10th off-road European Championships, brought to you by Schumacher, Hobbywing, X-Ray, Rudog.eu, and S-Works. And we've got just under 2 minutes left of this one. We'll be qualifying. We will be crowning a European champion today. We have our first A final kicking off 20 past 3 local time. And then we'll have the K up to G finals. And then we'll have A final leg 2 at 20 past 4. And then we'll have F up to B. And then 20 past 5. That will be your final A final. And
the final?
You know what we like. The final A final. Exactly, the final leg, the third leg, will be at 20 past 5. And you know what we like? We like them to go to 3 finals. We want it to be decided. We don't mind who wins, but we want it to be decided over 3 finals. We don't know if that's what will be what happens, but we shall wait and see.
We don't mind who
Bated
wins,
breath.
as long as it's Neil Cragg and as long as he does it in the 3rd final.
So, yeah.
It's okay, I'm only kidding. Anyone can win and we'll be super happy for them, of course. Of course, and we don't have favourites here. Sometimes. So, we have got Heat 3 out at the moment, though.
Is it? Okay.
Seems like Heat 3 is going around right now. Let me just reorganise the sheets here. There we are. So, Heat 3. Who are we following in Heat 3 at the moment? Well, I think we should be following Lucas Didier, who's leading this one round in car number 1, if that's possible. Hopefully that's who... Is that who we're on? No, it's not. We'll get there. We'll get on... There he is. There we go. So, that's Lucas Didier leading us round in this one now. It's all finished, so it's a bit pointless switching over to him, to be fair. We're right at the end of this heat. We're in the rundown time on the clock. So we'll now be switching over to Heat 4 once these guys come back and cross over the line. I think we're just waiting for... Oh, no, he's finishing out. Sven Ruddick didn't go out in that one. But we've got Lucas Didier finishing on a 10 in a 5:26.992. Well, I suppose as it's my first little soiree on the mic today, I better thank our sponsors, Schumacher, Hobbywing, X-Ray, Rodog.eu and S-Works. You are, of course, here watching the EFRA 1/10th Buggy Euros for 2023. We're in Utrecht in the Netherlands at the Rayco 2000 facility. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I do apologise for being horrendously late this morning. Sometimes these things happen, so I will be doing my best to bring you many, many, many hours of entertainment for the rest of the day. Like I say, Heat 4 is up next. You'll see these guys walk up into their rostrum positions in a moment. In Heat 4, we have got Randolph Hout in car 1, Cedric Didier in car 2, Lee Charnock in car 3, Remy Bertrand car 4, Paul Wood in car 5, Bruno Vea in car 6, René Levezzo in car 7, Peter Friedingsdorf in car 8, and Harley Eldridge rounding us out in car 9. Who's your pick for this one, Matt? Okay, I'm going to guess for it. I reckon Harley Eldridge. There we go. I reckon you're probably onto a winner there with that one. But you never know. Any requests out there at all in the YouTube land? I better get this loaded up on my phone, really, haven't I?
Well, we haven't really looked at the comments so far, but there are a huge, huge number of comments. So I'll scroll right down to the end. Watch Harley, says Richard Gallop. Loic and Lucas are the requests of Etienne Pavé. Joseph Fisher says 1.5 million euros is chump change when Trinity sold Horizon Hobby for a mere 900,000. Okay. Some more French. So yeah,
we've got a few on the. I've seen on the Facebook feed here. I'm just going to try and have a look at the comments there because we've got a few. We've got a few little comments on the Facebook feed. I can actually only see 3 of them. When I click into the comments, they all vanish. But we've got Greg Hill saying something about it being for insurance purposes. I obviously wasn't here for that. And he says, "Hi Frank." Hi Frank from
drivers.
Greg.
Drivers standing on a step.
Okay. Oh, okay. And then we've got Aidan Burke chipping in with Highgate. And I can only imagine what Aidan believes happened last night. And I'll go with that story because it's obviously far more exciting than what actually happened to us last night. So we're good with that. We're good with Highgate. That's fine. I can't see any more of the comments on there. So do let us know if you're watching, guys. Say hello to Matt. Say hello to me.
YouTube is your place. If you go on YouTube, you'll be able to see all of the comments.
Oh, sorry. Let's have a look. See if I can get into YouTube a minute. Okay, these guys just coming around to the line now. A few seconds on the clock and they will be called off. So we will, for the time being, we'll just follow Harley off the line because I think she's going to be off first if we can. And then we'll try and give a few more of these drivers a bit of love as we go through the heat. Okay, off we go then. Reasonable start so far. Hitting those bobbles. So track doesn't look too bad out here at the moment. It seems like whatever wetness there was in the Astro this morning when we got here, or when the rest of the team got here anyway. By the time I got here, the sun had been out, it had dried out, all the waterproof covers had been put out ready. Brilliant. Well done, team. That's what I say. But it does look like the track has dried out this morning. Now, that's either going to make a difference of when Astro dries out a bit, it gets a little bit sticky on that sort of cusp of becoming dusty, and that's when you get the real high grip come out of it. So we might see some of these times from yesterday topple a little bit. Maybe some of the faster laps go down in this next sort of maybe in the next round. We might see that start to happen, but we're a long way off yet. and these guys still struggling a little bit over the over some of the sort of rhythm sections that we've got here, but Harley seems to be doing well at the moment, still out in front, fastest lap for 30.4, so not knocking those times down just yet. But we're certainly pushing towards that way. A few seconds to go on that, and we'll be well up there. Okay, so we've done a few laps with Harley now. Let's see if we can pop back onto car number 2 of Cedric Didier, who is second in this one at the moment. Let's see if we can find out where Cedric is. Should have just crossed the line there. Should be the number 2 car you're looking for. Probably about a quarter of the way round now. Okay, so we'll just wait for these guys to go past Jim a minute. There we go, lovely. There's Cedric. Single double. Standard routine over that one. Just a little bit short on the up hop there, on the step up. Oh, grip roll on the corner. And there you go. Over at the end of the bobble. So you catch that nasty one on the way out, and it will flip the back end of the car up, as we've seen a number of times so far during qualifying. Cedric not having too much trouble other than that, really. Lap times seem to be fairly consistent so far. Mind you, last lap, obviously, with that tumble was a 34.8, so 4 seconds off what he's been doing up until then. So in the 30s, really, for Cedric as he's going round. It's really close between him and Harley, actually. So we've got France and the UK taking us around in this one. So a couple of minutes left, and I can't see any requests on this one, so let's have a look and see if we can give somebody else a bit of time. René Levetzo, car number 7, if we can. Driver from Austria. Okay, so René should be almost coming up towards the end of the lap now, so probably one of these two coming over the double section. There we go, lovely. So that is René Levetzo, currently running around in third, or was running around in third. Let's have that crash on the doubles there, just as we switched over, which has dropped him down. With a minute left to go, we'll stick it out and see if we can make a little bit of time back up. And catch back up to where he was anyway. I think that is likely to be Cedric right behind him, though, so if he catches him, he's going to have to make... Oh dear, what a nightmare. We got a replay on that one. There we go. Wrong angle. Catches the track marker. Tumble. And that is the expensive way to do the doubles. Okay, so back with it. About 20 seconds left in this one now. Everybody onto their pretty much onto their last laps. I think. I think everybody's pretty much there. So we'll just wait for these guys to start crossing the line, and we should be done and dusted with heat number 4. I think it is going to be Harley Eldridge that takes this one, Matt. So you were right there. Got any horses that you want me to put on? I will gladly take your tips for them as well. So the 3 singles on the finishing lap for René Levetzo there. Keeping it safe, making sure he's not breaking the car, doing anything crazy. Oh, and as I say that, the rain is coming down. And it is coming down quite a bit as well by the looks of things. This is really going to change things up now. It's certainly going to mix up this last round of qualifying, because I think these top guys are going to be going out possibly on quite a wet track. I'm not sure if you can pick up the rain on the camera at all. Any of the cameras can see. There you go. You can see it falling on that one. So we've got
Just
Jim
look pretty
up.
dark, doesn't it?
It is. It has. It's just come over. So I think if it's, I mean, with the amount of rain that's coming down, Matt, I don't think this is going to dry out in time to see this through for the next round. We've seen how long this track does take to dry out, and what have we got there? So that was 8-4. So we've got 20 minutes, 20, 30, 40 minutes maybe. 20, 30, 40 minutes, something like that, Matt. Something like that.
But they're just going to run in the rain, aren't they? Just be declared a wet round?
Yeah, of course. But what that means is that if it stops raining just as the top guys go on, it's going to get drier as they go through towards the bottom heats.
Right. Yeah.
That makes sense. So the track should get quicker. So we might see a bit of a mix-up in that last round, which will change around some of the final placings. Could be interesting. Could be some scores.
If a round has mixed conditions, does it not get cancelled because it's unfair, or is it?
No, that's the point of doing staggered starts.
Okay.
So from my understanding, the staggered starts are there to make it even for everybody, so that it's not the same people going. You know, if you get rain early on and the track's drying out, it's always the top guys that get the fastest bit of track, and you're never going to beat them. So if you swap them around and do the timings differently and start different heats at different times throughout the day, it means everybody gets a chance to have that early track, that middle bit of the track, that late bit of the track where all the grips come up, or vice versa, if it's rain towards the end. But I think that's the idea, really. You can see Paul Worsley. That is his sneaking walk that he's doing there, you can see on the rostrum cam. That is how Paul Worsley sneaks around late in the evening.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Good job, Cedric Didier, says Xavier Boutet.
Good job indeed.
Good job. John Sneakers is saying maybe a bad bitterball or fricadelle.
Well, it was. I don't think it was the food. I really can't put my finger on it because we didn't drink a lot. We hadn't done anything crazy. We hadn't been anywhere outlandish. We got back at a reasonable time. We had a pint at the hotel. I think it was the Heineken. I never drink Heineken. I was a cider drinker. So I'm putting it down to the silver Heineken that we had at the Vietnamese place. That's what I thought. We're absolutely fine. I went to bed fine.
You need to do the FFF diet.
Oh, Freddie?
No, my diet, the FFF diet.
Oh, okay. What's that?
Frank can tell you about Frank's fat shaming service later.
Oh, okay. You can fat shame me anytime, Frank.
John Sneakers is saying Heineken is the worst Dutch beer ever. But back to business. Brian Carroll is requesting William White.
William White. We had a bit of time with Will yesterday, but we'll get him on. We'll do a few early laps of Will White. So car 4 when these guys go off, please. See, we started with yesterday actually, and I think in the last round with him, but we will give him a bit more love seeing as he's had the request. We've had Eugene Galley in there as well. So I expect we'll get some requests for Eugene in a bit. Obviously one of the main helpers from Robin Hood last year is Eugene. So I had a question yesterday, Matt, of how many drivers here have been able to defend their title successfully? And it's many drivers. I think, let's have a look. I think there's only one driver that's managed to defend it 5 years consecutively, and that was for a four-wheel drive title.
Lee had it 3 times, this one, didn't he?
Yeah, but Drescher's had it 4 times.
Bounce.
Neil Cragg's had it 4 times on the bounce. But Stenari is the only one that has won it 5 years on the trot. And then you've got Drescher with 4, you've got Cragg with 4, you've got Lee Martin with 3, and then there's a number of sort of 2s and stuff as well. Newman's had at least one double like that, where he's defended it in the four-wheel drive at least. Certainly in the two-wheel drive. Many is the answer. So lots of them out there have done the doubles, triples, quadruples, and one quintuple. Not very often you get to say that about a championship, eh?
Not a lot, no.
William White's taking us round. A little bit squiffy over the doubles as he went round there. You can see these guys on those yellow tyres, even with the tiny bit of rain that we've had, which has stopped now, by the way. You can see the difference it's made to them. So the heat before, no issue at all with the grip, really. And now, when you see these guys come out of a corner, and you might notice it a bit more on the black tiles. So let's see how Will gets round there. No, it's not too bad. That seems okay. The little back straight there up onto the step through. Oh, can't quite get the pace, though. So that's where you're going to start noticing it, is where these guys start to do 5 singles in a row rather than a single double-double. I had a chat with a few of the drivers yesterday as we were sort of mincing around in the afternoon, and they're all saying that the track is great, other than they're struggling with the obstacles. So getting the rhythm right for these sections is proving very, very difficult for a lot of drivers. But otherwise, size of the track, that sort of stuff, all seems pretty acceptable to all of them. So yeah, other than struggling with some obstacles out there, I think these guys are actually really enjoying the track and the layout. So we've had a bit of time with Will White now. He is not doing too badly. I mean, he's lapping in the 32s, and for wet laps, yeah, you can understand where the time's starting to drop off for him. Predicted 9 in a 5:16 at the moment. So if we've got nobody out there requesting anyone, let's have car number 7, the German Elias Jordan. He's leading us out in this one. Currently lapping around 30-second laps, so 10 in a 5:19 he's predicted. So just coming up to the end now, there you go. So let's see how the grip's affecting his car. So Elias on the nasty off-camber corner. It is going to be the nasty off-camber now. It's got a little bit wet. Oh dear. Sympathy crash from the car behind him as well. Did we work out if I've got a replay button over here, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. On your little screen there, you should see a button that says Mark 5 and go.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I see that.
So Mark 5 and go will take a replay and it will show it immediately of the last 5 seconds. Mark 90 is quite a good one. It doesn't show it, but if you see something amazing,
yeah,
and you think it should be saved for posterity, to make it to the final montage or something, then press Mark 90 and it will just automatically snip out 90 seconds, and we can use that anywhere later.
From the point I push the button, or will it be slightly before?
Yeah, the last 90 seconds up to the point where you press the button.
Oh, awesome! That's a good button. I like that one. So don't just keep pushing that.
No.
That was a good bit. That was a good bit. I have lots of 90-second clips for Jim and Frank to go through, and yourself, of course.
Yeah, Jim will love that.
He will. He was telling me last night how he loves it when he puts loads and loads of time into like the montages and the little clips that we do and stuff like that. And when we come into a European Championship and then play one for the 8 scale.
Yeah, I did play the wrong one. But I apologise, and it's still been played a few times. It's been played a few times, the correct one.
Oh man, nightmare there! Absolute nightmare for Elias. Sorry, Matt, to cut you off, but caught on a. I don't think that is Elias actually. I think that's
kind of a 9.
It's kind of a 9. Oh, that's well, it's Danny Clay's. So we're not.
No, it's kind of an 8. It's kind of an 8.
Cedric Ricard. There you go, from France. Got really, really caught up there. That was much more than a 3-second, just poked in the barrier straight out from the marshal and back on track. That was I am banging my car into the barrier to get you guys to notice that I've crashed and come and save me, please. So lots of time lost on that one. But, we're into the finishing times now anyway, so these guys are going to be finishing as they come across the line. William White's finished with a 9 in a 5:09.9. Top two, Tom Becku and Elias Jordan. So Elias doing a 10 in a 5:21.2. Tom Becku doing a 10 in a 5:26.3. So a little bit of time between these guys. You can see the track has changed a bit, but now the rain stopped. It'll be interesting to see if this does have any effect on the track and how things go from this point on. We are expecting the possibility of a few more showers coming through. However, who knows when that is going to happen? Could it be when the top heat goes out? Could it be just before they go out? Or will it just make all of the lower heats suffer when they've been through? Who knows? Who knows, Matt? I'd love your prediction on that, though. I'd love to hear from anybody in the chat that's got any ideas on what the weather's going to do over here, because,
Yeah.
Let's hear your thoughts.
Come on, chat people. You all think you're Met Office experts. Tell us what's going to happen. You're all backseat weather predictors. Paul for president. Yavuz Kura is saying Paul for president.
Yes, a lot of people called for Paul to be president.
Of EFRA or of America, of the world, or because
president of the world. I'm not sure.
I mean, he's not American,
so
I'm not sure what he can be president of. I suppose
France.
President of France.
There you go.
Could be.
El Presidente.
Could be.
That's not.
Mark
really
Cox
French,
says, "Good morning, Vampire O'Brien." Horsefield, number 6 for a few laps. I think that was a while back.
Yes, we've certainly not got Horsefield in this one, because this, of course, is qualifying group number 6, qualifying heat number 6, with car 1 of Laszlo Phillips, car 2 of Jamil Gabrielson, 3 is Valentin Puziat, Marco Stallman's car 4. Kim Sitensky is car number 5. Julian Ferrandis in car number 6. Car 7 is Manny Panesar. Plenty of requests for Manny so far. Victor Asak is car number 8. And Halvor Gran is car number 9. Freddie Russell from FF Racing is rounding this one out, car number 10. So any requests out there? Get them in quick. Otherwise, we're just going to go with cameraman's choice on this one.
Yep, no requests as of
none for Manny Pansar. Okay.
Chris Long says 40% chance of light rain all day at Utrecht.
Well, there you go. There you go. I'll tell you guys now, for anybody interested in our current temperature in the in the commentary hut, in the commentary burger van, it is a sweltering 29 degrees. How's that for you out there? How are you guys feeling over there in the UK with it being about 12?
Torrential rain here.
Is it?
Absolutely tipping it down.
Good for the hay fever sufferers, though. Hey, they'll be pleased at the reef, right?
Jeffrey Murphy is requesting Manny Panesar.
No way! We've not had that request before, but of course we'll give Manny some time, because it seems to be firm favourite with you listeners and watchers out there. So, go on then, Manny Panesar off the line, and then we'll do some of the guys and girls that we haven't followed in this one before. So, a couple of laps of Manny, please. Wonder Jim. He's giving me a 5-10 hand thing, but hang on. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see him. There we go.
5-10 hand thing.
He's going...
What does that mean? 15?
I don't know. He sort of did 5, then 10. Now he's pointing at the track and going, I don't know. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Go away, you're being silly, is what you... Those are the hand signals that I've known. Oh, he's going to tell you and you can tell me.
Who's going to tell who?
Well, I think he's done it on Zello.
I'm confused.
Jim.
Oh, okay.
So you might get a message in a minute. And then you can pass the information over. Okay, so we should be looking for car number 7. Manny Pansal. It'll be towards the back of the field, probably third or fourth from last car. Okay, there we go. Jim's picked that one up. So we'll do a couple of laps with Manny. I'm going to test out my replay as soon as we get a decent crash to test it out on, or some super skill. There you go, corner to corner for Manny on that one. Seemed to work out pretty well. Really, really long landing on the first double there. Oh, boom! Let's have a replay on that one. Comes over the little bridge before the straight. Punches it. Too tight on the inside corner, and whoops, there we go. It's not where you want to be going over on the straight. So much time gets lost if you crash on the straight. You know, crash on a slow bit of the track if you're going to crash. Okay, right. So that's a couple of laps with Manny there. Let's have Jamil Gabrielson, if we can. Car number 2 is leading this one out. Finnish driver. Just coming to the end of the lap now. So one of those 3 there. There we go. So just coming up on a couple of cars. I would imagine that it's probably going to get called through. You can see that one nice and easy. And the drop off into the nasty off camber. Oh, and these guys getting out of the way very nicely. Everybody knows what they are. So Jamil making the most of this one. That's not rain coming down that you can see on the screen. You can see the car's still picking up a little bit of slipperiness out there on the track. Not too bad though. Seems to have cleared up pretty well. I'll get out there in between the rounds on the next one. So I'll just run my hand across the Astro to give you guys an update on the wetness. See how slippery it is out there. Okay, so Jamil lapping 29.2s, 28.8s. So there's definitely some pace left in the track. There is definitely some pace left out there. The rain hasn't affected things too much. Hopefully we can stay dry for the rest of the day and bring you guys the action that you want to see. You know, there you go, a little bit of a tumble. That's what happens when you short the first double. Car behind doing a bit of a sympathy crash, so we'll see that lap time hop up there to a 32. So, you know, there's quite a big loss for just a small crash. And we've seen how tight it is at the top of these heats, so a couple of seconds loss on a lap is huge. That's like 10-15 cars going past you. I'm going to say it is anyway. Might be like 5. Could be 25. Depending on how close everyone is. Jamil going around pretty well. Nobody's really going to affect the time there, because Jamil is the only one in this one on for an 11 lap run. Everybody else is so far outside of a 10 lap. So I think the next closest is Valentin Puziat with predicted 10 in a 5:09. So 10 seconds to make up in the last minute to get the 11th lap in. It's not going to happen. So we'll keep an eye on Jamil. See what happens as we go through. Should be this one and one more for Jamil. So we'll just watch. I mean, obviously a clean lap on this one is going to mean that we'll get through for that last lap, that 11th lap. So keep an eye on it. Pressures. Oh dear. That was a bit of a champion's roll. That one got back on the wheels. No need for a marshal, but will be a little bit of time lost there. But still plenty of time to get across the line. So it comes through to start the last lap. There we go, lovely up through the step up. Almost doesn't matter at this point, it's just going for just making sure the times are as low as possible. obviously at this point has won this heat by an entire lap. Oh no. Yeah, that is right, because Puziat's already finished. So across the line to do 11 laps in a 5:26.9. So a long 11 lapper, but 11 laps nonetheless. We've got Valentin Puziat with a 10 in a 5:07. Havelock Gran, 10 in a 5:11. Victor Asak, 10 in a 5:15. And then we've got Kim Stitensky, in 10 in a 5:19. Everybody here other than the last two and were in 10s, and unfortunately Julian Ferrandis pulled out after one lap. That's a bit of an issue there. So 30-second opening lap, and then must have crashed out or had an issue on lap 2. But a bit of a nightmare, but these things do tend to happen. Okay, and that was heat number 6. So we've got heat 7 on their way up. These guys are just going to swap over. I'm going to get a mouthful of water, and then I will tell you who's in this one.
Comments still flying in, which is absolutely awesome. It's no fun doing this without you guys, so when you're commenting along, it makes it awesome. And there's so many comments to go through. Back to the standing on steps. They have a rule for the height of the driver. No, not that one. Greg Hill, we've talked to Greg Hill.
Greg Hill, he's still about, is he?
On social media, stocked up on kippers and beers. Great coverage so far. Keep it up. RC by Tadaksatu says, greetings from Poland. Model S Trico Racing TV says, buenos dias. Buenos dias to you,
buenos
sir.
Dias.
Hugh Janus says, good morning, sports fans. That's a lot of effort to set your profile name as something so hilarious. But well done to you, sir.
Yes,
worth it.
I would always say it's worth it. You know, what do you put your name is on an arcade machine if you get the high score?
Exactly.
It's not MAT,
exactly.
Is it?
It ain't. It's something more marvellous.
Indeed, like POP.
We've got more weather updates, more amateur weather updates.
Give us these weather updates.
TV. Have you ever heard of Karting Live TV?
No, never.
It's apparently it's a YouTube channel populated with karting. It's a bit like this, but with karting.
Wait
it's
a
called
minute.
Karting Live TV. You should follow it. You should subscribe.
Didn't they?
Everyone should subscribe.
Didn't they have an event somewhere in Dunkerswell where one of the marshals was giving them a lot of grief about their camera position?
Oh, maybe.
Yes, they did, because that camera position was me.
So anyway, Karting TV says it's dry here. Morning, lads. So it's dry in Milton Keynes. In Nottingham, it's torrential rain. Robin Van Gogh says that means 100% chance of rain, stretching 40% of the air in Utrecht. So maybe it will miss the track for the rest of the day.
Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Who knows? But we're in Heat 7 now, Matt. I don't know if you knew that. But we are in Heat 7, and in this one we've got Marion Baresh, Yolanda de Weird, Martin Owen, Martin Scar, Alexandra Debrosis, Roman Lepape, Jonas Martins, Christian Wakonig, Rick Hamers, and Antonia Kowalski. Any requests out there in Chatland, Matt, for these guys?
Chatland,
that's what I'm going to call it.
Chatland. Can you follow Car 10, please?
Car 10, Antonia Kowalski, of course. Of course we can. We'll do that. I'm going to put a little star next to it. Now, I'm pretty sure, and I've said this a few times, that Antonia is the two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive junior Austrian champion for this year.
Congrats.
How do you feel about that? Just going past the start-finish now, should be?
I feel like we're in the presence of Austrian greatness.
Certainly future Austrian greatness, if not already Austrian greatness.
Well, Austrian better than meanness. That's for sure.
Should we have a look in Heat 1 and find an Austrian that's better than Eunice as well? They're all better than me, mate. Every single one of these drivers from the bottom heat to the top will spank me on an RC track every day of the week. Well, they wouldn't spank me literally, but they would beat me with an RC car. They'd not beat me with an RC car. They would outrace me with an RC car. There you go. We'll work out what I'm saying in a minute. So we are with Antonia for a minute. Just looking a little bit slippery out there. Maybe it's because these guys are pushing that a little bit harder. Oh, yeah, champions roll back on the wheels. No need for marshalling through the switchbacks. Up to the step over. And, well, I would have driven that back on. But, hey, well, gets caught up with the car there that was having a bit of a nightmare on the first of the doubles. Let's flicks it back at the end of the straight. So certainly got plenty of pace in that car. And these guys all out there on yellows. I didn't run out between the rounds, Matt, because we were so engrossed in the conversation. I forgot the thing I told everybody I was going to do.
That's a promise been broken, that is.
That's first promise of the day broken. Well, second, actually. First promise that I was going to be here on time and well. Is that 2 promises? We'll call it 1.5. So 2.5 promises broken today so far by me. Apologies for you. Terrible.
You get 5. I think you get 5. You're
5 a day. Tanya, I get 5 broken promises a day before I'm in trouble, just so that you know. That's my wife at home. I'm sure she's watching. She's not at work like normal people. She did say that she put it on in the school yesterday, actually, Matt, the feed.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
There you go. So
3 dimensions over in Chard, playing our live feed.
That's great.
It was at a lunchtime, probably in the teacher's lounge, where they were smoking and drinking whiskey.
Not to young people.
Yeah, of course it would have been to young people. They would have played it out. Whether they put us on today or not, who knows? Who knows? It'd be great if they could get the finals on, though. Same as you guys. Make sure you're sharing the feed out there. Let's get this out to as many people as we possibly can. We know how great this sport is for everyone who's involved. So let's spread it out there to the world. And whilst you're doing that, don't forget to like and share. Like, share, and subscribe. Do that on the YouTube channel. And then you'll just know, like this morning, I knew you guys had gone live because whilst I was lying in bed with a massive headache, my phone started to ping and give me notifications to go, RCTV alive.
There you go.
That's what you need. That's what you need. So we've got a massive gaggle of cars coming up here. So switch to the back end of the track there, just coming over all the double-doubles. So we've got a load of cars here that have all just decided to crash out of each other's way, and this is the nightmare of qualifying, is when you've got everybody tripping over each other like this. So we'll try and keep a few of these guys all together. So what's there? See, one's crashed out. Rather than wait for the marshal that he was right next to, has decided to make his own way back onto the track. Now, absolute nightmare that was for a minute. There was chaos going up by the start of the double-doubles. Seems to have virtually sorted itself out now for these guys and girls. They're into their last laps. Nobody here on to an 11. Rick Hamers has finished now with a 10 in a 5:01. So a quick 10, not far off an 11. Not far off. But nobody else within sort of Antonia Kowalski. She finished a 10 in a 5:11. Marian Baresh finished on a 9 in a 5:06. So some issues for Marian there. Alexander Trabrosis 10 in a 5:20. Christian McConaughey 10 in a 5:18. 10 in a 5:14 for Roman Lepape. Yelland Weird, 10 in a 5:19. Jonas Martins, 10 in a 5:28. Martin Owen rounds us out, 10 in a 5:31. Just sneaks it into the 10s. Right, I'm going to just turn this down a second. And I'm going to go and rub the track.
Sounds exciting. There's going to be some track rubbing. which is a thoroughly scientific process where Matt will impart to us just how damp the track is. We now have a break, which is exciting. Qualifying, the final round of qualifying, round 5, is up at just after 12. 9 minutes past 12 to be precise, local time, which is 9 minutes past 11 in the UK. We are very thankful to our sponsors, Schumacher, S-Works, Hobbywing, Rudog.eu and X-Ray. This is the EFRA 1/10th Off-Road European Championships, the two-wheel drive class. Of course, today we crown our two-wheel drive European champion, and tomorrow we get underway with four-wheel drive with a full day of practice and a new track layout. That's going to be awesome. Is Matt back?
I'm back, and I can tell you now that the section of track that I touched with my bare hand was completely dry. It didn't even smell.
Fantastic. That's
Not
great.
smelly or wet. There you go. That's the update. So we're just going to wait for the rain. If it comes, we've got a short break now. I think we've got about 10 minutes where we've got the changeover for the heats.
So you get some refreshments. We will leave you until 9 minutes past 12 local time, where we'll be back with the top heat. Heat 11 for their final round of qualifying, and we can hear from Johan Neumann himself.
Sounds awesome.
So we'll be back after this.
See you soon. So last couple of corners, Tommy Hall comes through. Down the straight goes, European champion for 2022. What a race, what a championship.
That's crazy, man. I can't believe it.
Flicks it up nicely through the step up into the switchbacks, and your European four-wheel drive champion Marcus Carup takes it across the line.
Good, making my dad proud means a lot to me, so it's good to win.
Alrighty. So that's it. Break was short and sweet. We are back. I think Frank has brought my coffee in somewhere. There it is. Okay, final round of qualifying for your two-wheel drive portion of the event is coming up right now. Drivers up on the rostrum. This is heat number 11, so the top of the pile. In this one, we've got Michael Orlowski in car 1, Wesley Van Helmond in car 2, Tommy Hall car 3, Jorn Newman. Current TQ holder in car 4, Una Hatton car 5, Bruno Coelho car 6, Danny Kubovic car 7, Jamie Hall in car 8, Marcus Kerrup 9, and Luke Holdsworth in the 10 car. Okay. So it looks like
to follow Luke Holdsworth, but
follow Luke Holdsworth. Okay, we can certainly get Luke in. I think we've had Luke a few times, but we will certainly give him a couple of laps of love. And we're going to be following these guys out in a second. So follow car 10 then off the line, please, Jim. We'll give Luke a couple of laps, and then we're going to switch over to whoever's leading, and we'll go through the pack like that. Try and give everybody a lap or so if we can.
Orlowski. Request for following Orlowski. I guess it goes without saying we're going to want to see those up at the top of the tree.
I mean, we're probably going to want to see Coelho, Tommy Hall, Wesley Van Helmond, Michael Orlowski, maybe Kobovic, Jamie Hall probably, and Kerrup in this one, as well as Luke Holdsworth. But we'll try and get through them all. And the thing is with this competition is there are you just couldn't, out of the top 30, I don't think you could realistically pick a top 10 before this had started. It'd be impossible. You could have had a guess, but I couldn't have seen how this one was going to go so far. Otherwise, I would be a lottery winner by now. Okay, final round of qualifying. Here we go. These guys are going to be setting off any second now. So, car 10, please. I found out what all Jim's frantic waving was. He didn't know what number the car was. That's what the 510 was earlier on. Bruno and Tommy. Jamie goes off. Okay, so let's see what Luke's got in the tank for this one. Oh, shorts it straight away. That is not how he wanted to start at all. I'll tell him that you guys asked me to follow him off the line as well, so he's gonna be annoyed with that. Giving him the curse on his first lap. So he's just going to be looking to settle in now for a lap or so. We'll follow him around for this one and one more, and then we'll swap on to somebody else. Okay, so Luke's super quick. Certainly as far as the UK standings are concerned. Oh, catches the cone of justice. Let's see that again. Comes over the bobbles, catches it nastily. Oh, tries to get tight on the corner, and there's the cone. Okay, so flick back one car if you can. That should be Jorn. So Jorn is leading this one out. 27.4 is his fastest lap. Nobody else into the 27s that I can see yet. So we'll do a lap or so with Jorn, and then we'll flick over to Orlowski. Really tight through there. Jorn really loving this S-Works car on the track here. Says the rhythm sections are probably the most difficult bit, but the rest of the track seems to be pretty good for him. He's looking forward to some racing in the finals, so no fear from these guys that they are going to be able to push or that there's just the one line on the track to follow. There's plenty of places for overtaking, plenty of opportunities out there for these guys to get past. Mistakes are easily made on this track, as we've already seen, even from these top guys out there. So there goes Jorn, round for another one. We'll try and pick up Orlowski if we can, so he should be just behind Jorn. One more. There he goes. So we've just seen Carrot crash out the way of him there. So Carrot was actually leading on the timing screen, so I'm guessing that crash now, and a second crash from Carrot just behind Orlowski there, will put Orlowski back into the second spot. So we'll wait for Carrot to cross the line and we'll just see where he ends up now. He sticks in third. The possibility, I was going to say that Wesley Van Helmen's going to sneak up into the third spot with 2 crashes in 1 lap for Carrot. So Carrot, his last lap was a 30-second lap compared to 27s that he's been doing. So wasted about 3 seconds with those crashes there. So Orlowski nice and cleanly through the rhythm section, the double-doubles. Those guys have settled into that section now. Don't seem to be having too much of an issue with it. So it is Newman, Orlowski, Karup, Van Helmond. So we'll take Orlowski to the end of this lap and we'll pop back and have a look how Karup's getting on. I think he's probably going to so follow him up to the end of this one, and then I think he's just going to be dropping back probably 1 car, unless that's Karup that's pulled off there. No, so drop back. Yeah, there he is there. Okay. I was looking at the wrong bit of track. Sorry about that. Okay, so there goes Karup in third at the moment. Taking that spot back off Van Helmond. Oh, catches himself on the switchbacks. Bit of a nightmare. You can see even for these top guys, Marcus Karup is current 4-wheel drive defending European champion when we come to the 4-wheel drive portion of the event. Super close race between him and Tommy last year. Okay, so that is Karup coming through the switchbacks, punches it up to the step over. A really awkward jump for these guys. Oh, catches that in the air. Nicely done. Okay, so we're not going to be far off finishing times now. And about 25 seconds left on the clock. So, possibility is... No, I don't think he's going to get through for another one. No, he won't get through for another one. So this will be the final lap for these guys now. So we'll follow Karup up to the line. Newman's finished 11 in a 5:07. Oh, look at that. Orlowski 11 in a 5:07.8. So we'll see what Karup's got. Yeah, 11 in a 5:15. I think we kind of expected that sort of distance. 5:16 from Wesley. Should be Bruno coming over next to finish. I know it's Kurbavec. So there you go. Bruno's finished now. So 11 in a 5:20. 11:5:21 for Kurbavec. Tommy Hall 11 in 5:21.2. So just waiting for Hatton, Jamie and Luke. So Una finishes in 11:5:25, 11:5:29 for Jamie Hall, and Luke Holdsworth 10 in a 5:28. So Luke's going to be fairly disappointed with that one, I can imagine. But after the opening laps that he had, I think
let's
we were
hear from
expecting
Frank.
it. Okay.
Well, we can't hear him.
Should we put him on the screen?
We can see him at least then.
He's saying, "Hey, Jorn, I really like your top there." I don't know why I gave him a Dutch accent then. Why, Frank hasn't got that accent, has he? And Jorn's going, yeah, it was dead easy. I found this track so easy to race around. Everybody else is really slow compared to me. I'm the best. And Frank's going, you are the best, Jorn. Well done. Over to Matt. There we go, and back to me. Almost seamless switch back to the studio there. Thanks, Frank. I'm glad we got that interview in, and I had a chance to eat some food whilst you were doing it.
Wow. We've really outdone ourselves there.
How
That was
is
pretty
that
good.
for a professional production, Matt? I may not have been here first thing this morning, but damn, I covered that interview well.
That was good. That was good. I think all is forgiven, actually, after that.
Thanks.
I'm pretty sure the mic in Frank's hand is not turned on.
I may have accidentally muted it.
Well done, Frank. Okay, so in the next round, we'll try and get another driver from the driver's stand down. In this next one, which is Heat 10, of course, because we're going in reverse order, you've got Davide Ongaro in the number 1 car, Martin Bayer in the 2, Clement Boda in the 3, Hubert Honigel in the 4, Mika Whitmire in the 5, Malie Martin in the 6, Noah Ben Mohammed in the 7, Josh Holdsworth in the 8, so obviously brother of Luke Holdsworth there, Alexander Landon in the 9, and Burak Kilik in the 10. So I'm just trying to see who we've got on this, and I think we've followed all of these guys. I've got ticks next to everybody's name except for Davide Ongaro. Have we got any requests out there?
Holdsworth, car number 8, is a request from Chris Long.
Alrighty, Chris Long. We will follow Josh Holdsworth, car number 8. Please, Wonder Jim. There he is.
Connie Svensson's asking to follow Alexander.
Oh, we will definitely do that. We'll definitely do that. From Sweden, yes. Okay, so at the moment we're with Josh. Let's see if we can bring him a little bit more luck than we brought his brother on his opening lap. Slightly more luck. He made it through. He made it through the ripples, Matt. There you go. So yes, slightly more luck for Josh and Luke. Okay, makes it over the double doubles. And through the sort of main straights, if you like, up to the step up. And it's down the drop off into the nasty off camber corner. You can see the sun has come out now. That's going to be warming this track up and drying it out every round that goes through. Everybody in this one at this point is on for an 11 lap run. A few of them with their predicted times looking to upset the top 10 standings. Lee Martin's leading this one at the moment, so we'll follow Josh up to the end, and then we're going to flick over onto Alexander Landon, which is car number 9, and then we'll get to the front of the pack after we've had our requests for a couple of laps. So car number 9. Alexander Landon, so about quarter of the way through his lap. Coming around the step up, should be an orangey car there. There we go, I see him over the bobbles. It's not yellow, orange, it's yellow and red. Or is it yellow and orange? I don't know. I've got my old eyes. That's what I'm going to put it down to. So we are with Alexander Landon at the moment. Doing pretty well, running around in third right now, predicted an 11 in a 5.17. So that is good enough to give him 7th in round if he can get that score at the moment. A nice score for Landon there if he can pick that one up. Graciously moves out the way for, I believe, is that? I'm not too sure who that was that went past then. We'll find out in a minute. So losing a bit of pace there is Landon through the drop-off and the off-camber corner section into the ripples. Seems to be a slightly slower lap than before. Let's have a look as he crosses the line. Yeah, so that was a 29.3, so about a second or so off of what he's usually lapping at. Okay, right, let's see if we can find car number 6, Lee Martin. He's about halfway through his lap at the moment. So Lee will be probably coming over the back set of doubles now. Just going around the last corner, over the bobble, and past the line he goes. There is the very recognisable colours of Lee Martin's body shell there in the Schumacher. Drop down a little bit in the order at the moment, but you can see how tight it is on the timing screen as these guys pass the line. So only a few seconds separating the top drivers here. Lee Martin gets himself up into third after that one. Currently on an 8 in a 3:49. Okay, over the ripples he goes. Keeping it nice and smooth there. I think that is Burak in front of him. It is. And they're both coming up on Alexander Landon. So Alexander is going to move out the way. There you go. These guys over the jump. Give Lee Martin some space, I'd imagine, up here. Oh, maybe not yet. Evenly paced as we go through the ripples. Oh, Landon comes through. Burt Killick makes a bit of a mistake there. So we'll stick with these guys for a minute. Seems to be a bit of a gaggle of cars going around. So Killick back up onto the back of Alexander. Certainly pushing to try and catch him. And let's see how he goes through this little ripple section as we come round now. And these are going to be closing laps for these guys, so they're going to race up to the line. Alexander's not going to want to give any more time away by pulling over, so they are just going to go down to the line now. Killick's not quick enough to make a move anywhere either, so over the line they go without too much drama. Everybody kind of working together fairly well. Lee Martin does well enough there to give himself second in the heat. And I'd imagine, are we going to hear from Frank in between rounds with a microphone that's on this time, Matt?
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we will, but you know,
who knows really?
Who knows?
Who knows? Who could have predicted how it's gone so far?
No one could have predicted, and if they could, you know.
It is Davide Ongaro that takes that one with an 11 in 5:13. Lee Martin 11 in 5:18. Alexander Landon 11 in a 5:19. 5:21 for Widmeyer. Martin Bayer 11 in a 5:22. Hubert Honegel an 11 in a 5:23. 5:24 for Burak Killick. Clement Boda into 10 laps, unfortunately, same as Noah Ben Mohammed. Clement Boda could have got across for another lap. Anyway, here's Frank.
All right, so hopefully we're working this time. So David Ongaro from Italy. Yeah. How's the week been for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. We start struggling a bit with the rain condition on Monday, but then we are working great with the team, and yeah, we are happy about it, yeah.
Are you getting some useful tips from the UK racers who are used to racing on this sort of stuff?
Everyone from Associated is helping us, and that's good for the team, so yeah.
That's fabulous. All right, good luck for the finals.
Thank you.
That was a really, really short interview. A very short interview.
Well, of course, Davide has to marshal, so we don't want him to get penalised for not turning up to marshal. So they will be very short interviews. But what we're planning to do is to get Jorn back up there again, in between 8 and 7. So yeah, we'll see.
We will see, Matt. We will see. That's for sure. Now, we've got heat number 9 coming up next, but before heat number 9 comes up, I've got to say a big thanks to our sponsors, Schumacher Hobbywing X-Ray, Rodoggy.eu and S-Works for helping us bring you the EFRA 1/10 Buggy Euros 2023 from Utrecht in the Netherlands at the Rayco 2000 facility. This is the 2-wheel drive portion of your event. Coming up to some finals this afternoon. If you are watching out there, don't forget to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and you'll get notified every single time we post some content out for you guys to have a look at. Well worth it if you ask me. I know Paul Wellesley stood next to me as a subscriber to the channel. How's it going, Paul?
Okay.
Happy with it?
Yeah. You'll always find things that could be better, but the organiser with the work is really good with it.
Let me give Paul a quick headset a minute so we can... I'm just going to give you this headset, Paul. Hold on a sec so we can hear you properly.
Twice in one day. Wow.
Twice in one day for Mr. Worsley. Here he comes.
Yeah, I had a question asked to me a few minutes ago. Why do we have international marshals for the A final instead of the normal final before?
Mm-hmm.
And that started 2006. The year before we'd had a Euros in France on a grass track. A lot of British drivers there from the UK. And it ended up in two-wheel drive with 9 British drivers in the A final, and a Hupo from Austria.
Yeah.
And 10 British drivers in the B final. And I said to the chairman at the time, Frank Mostry, this isn't fair. How do you expect Hupo to drive calmly when he's got 9 British drivers stood by the side of him and he's looking at 10 British marshals?
It's a tough ask of anybody, but you'd expect these guys to be as fair as possible out there. We just had a bit of a crash there. Let's see if we can get a replay on that one. There we go, a little bit late on the replay, but we still caught the safety barrier there, stopping that car going into any other traffic that would have come around the corner, and that's what they're there for. Okay, back to the action. Sorry, Paul, go on.
Yes, so we changed it there and then because it seemed a fair thing to do. And international marshals, nobody can accuse there was too many of one country marshalling in a final, etc. And we've just done it ever since. Yeah. It works.
Makes sense. Makes sense, I think. And fairness for all is what we are all about in the RC community, for sure. Okay, so let's just have a look. We've got Max Gotzel is out in the front in this one. If we can find Max, he's car number 3. He should be not too far off the end of the lap at the moment. Probably coming over the double-doubles, somewhere down there. Is that 3? I think it is. Yes. Okay, so that is Max Gotzel currently leading out, looking at 11.522 as a finishing time. So that's going to put him right at the back of the top 10. So just behind Alexander Landon, who's 9th at the moment. And I'm assuming this list is current and up to date for the current heat.
Yeah.
It is. Good. Paul Worsley has confirmed that my list is current and up to date, which is what we like to hear. So there we go, Gotzel going around, gets himself up the step up. These guys having to not really worry about getting the power down now. The track seems to have dried out completely after that kind of pitiful shower that we had a minute ago. It did change things for a round or two, but that little break in between rounds has let us really clear this track out and get the dry, grippy Astro back. So you can see these guys lapping into the 28s now with Max Gotzel there. 28.8 on his last lap round. He's done a 28.7 as the fastest lap in this heat. Okay, so we've got about 2 minutes left. Let's see if we can find Tim Gibel. I haven't seen Tim go round much since we've been on air, so we'll see if we can give him a bit of love. Tim is in car number 2, German driver. He just started his lap somewhere. No, I think he's ahead of that. Or is he? Is that number 2? Oh, that's number 5, I think. So Tim will be almost at the end of his lap now. That'll be Neil Cragg. Is it? No, that's not Neil Cragg. God, it looks like Neil Cragg's car. My goodness. Okay, so Tim running around at the moment, and 29.4s are his fastest laps. So not quite up there with Max Gotzel, but Tim's certainly putting some fast ones in, or certainly some consistent runs in. We've got a 10, predicted a 10 in a 5.05. So only 2 of these guys on for an 11 lapper, and we're going to start to see these sort of 11 lappers fade out at this point onwards through the through this round. Because obviously we're going down through the heats rather than up to the faster drivers. We're going down through the other drivers. Jesper Rasmussen's just crossed the line to go on to his final lap. There we go, 30 seconds left in this one. So we're going to follow it round with Tim Gibel till the end. I don't know if Pecco's got through for his 11th lap. He must have had a bit of a nightmare there. It looks like he's on for a very late one if he does get through now. And he has. Yeah, he's got through. Okay, Rasmussen's finished 10 in a 5:03. Tim Gibel 10 in a 5:02. Would be gutted to have missed out by 2 seconds onto an 11 lapper there. We'll just keep an eye out for the others as they come through. So Gotzel 11 in a 5:25. That's put him 20th overall. So nobody here affecting the top 10. Let's see what Pecco does. Yeah, it's 11 in a 5:31. So Pecco down 28th there. Neil Cragg does a 22 in round. A 21 in round, actually. Forgive me. Okay. I'm just going to mute the mics a sec so I can ask a quick question. Sorry, guys.
All right, so we're here with Finnish racer Pekko Ivanen. Pekko, what you checking out there?
I don't know. It's not going that well for me at the moment. I'm struggling a bit because I haven't had that much practice, and at home we don't have tracks like this. So
the AstroTurf isn't as common in your home area.
We have AstroTurf, but it's much different than this. This is so much different.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck for the finals, and we'll see you in a bit.
Yeah. Thank you.
So there we have a few words from Pecco. Always good to hear from Pecco. And we are now going into Heat 8. We're going to talk to Jorn, your TQ, your top qualifier, after this particular qualifying heat. We're in the final round of qualifying. And,
sorry about that. I was just
comments
clearing
are thick and fast.
Clearing a couple of things up on the timing there with Paul Worsey. Obviously, all the way through this, we've been saying about the overall standings that we've got on the timing screen here, and it is overalls for the whole event. So this is the guys that are in yellow on the timing screen. They are just about to go out, but that's their current position before they go out. So the overalls you see are for all of the rounds that count. Paul Worsley's asked for this to be changed. He can't get the information himself on the individual rounds until the round's over. So it is a bit of a nightmare for us because we like to bring you who is where on each round, and it makes it incredibly difficult to do with the timing like this. So we'll bring you the information as well as we possibly can. Here you go. Here's your overalls. So Jorn Newman, of course. All the zeros for Jorn. No issues there with a straight TQ for him for the event. Alowski second, Carrot third. Davide Ongaro fourth. Wesley Van Helmen fifth. Barak Killick sixth. Clement Boda seventh. Daniel Kovacic eighth. Alexander Landon ninth. Now he was hoping for a top 20, so currently sat in the top 10. Going to be pretty happy with that. And Bruno Coelho just makes it into the top 10 at the moment. Now Lee Martin, I'm not sure if he can do anything to affect that. He might well be able to with a storming run in his last go, so there's a possibility that Lee Martin could get himself into the top 10. And of course Mika Widmeyer, Tommy and Jamie Hall are all going to be battling it out with these guys for the final spots in the back of the A final. I think we've got pretty much the front of the grid locked up.
I think they're done, aren't they? We're counting down now.
Yeah, counting down. Don't think anyone's going to affect anything now, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is it. There you go. That is it for those guys. So we've got Ben Smith out on track, Elias Johansson out on track. You know, there's a few guys in this heat that could affect things and could change things a little bit, but we will see as they go round, I guess. On track is qualifying heat number 8. In this one, Jens Becker, Ben Smith, Mortis Lautenbach, Elias Johansson, Harry Mears, Betsy Sproach, Florent Gallet, Michael Katzmere, Brent Daniels, and Sylvan Gallo Silva. Okay, if you guys have got any requests out there, please let us know. Otherwise, we're going to just try and follow round the leaders in this one for the time being. So drop your requests in if you have them.
A few requests for car number 9.
Really?
Oh, and Ben Smith as well.
Ben Smith and Brent Daniels. Okay. Alrighty, let's see if we can find car number 9 then, as that was the first one Matt read out. So, about halfway through his lap now. And possibly the last of those two, actually. Lovely. There you go, Jim. Lovely job. Jim not messing about there on the camera today. Lovely little sleep when he got back to the hotel last night. And that was why me and Frank went out on our own. I think I'll be taking Jim's sound advice this evening and getting a shower and an early night myself. Sounds like a good plan to me at the moment. That does sound like a good plan.
Me too. Sounds like...
It sounds like a good plan to you as well. I'm glad. Okay, so we are with Brent Daniels at the moment. We're going to follow him around till the end of this one, and then we'll give Ben Smith a little bit of time on the camera as well. Brent just moving out the way for a quicker driver there. I think that was the 7 car he had to move out the way of for Florent Gallet. Okay, nicely round the off-camber corner. All right, let's see if we can pick up Ben Smith if we can. Car number 2. Now, Ben should be about a quarter of the way through his lap, so he won't be far off where you are. There you go. Oh, he was lucky to get away with that one then. My word. Didn't get away with it that time, though. Check the steering on the car, make sure none of the turnbuckles came off, and back onto the pace as quickly as he possibly can. Now, that has dropped him down a little bit from where he was. Not too far, though. He's shortened it a little bit on some of these jumps, so not too sure if he's made changes to the car, because he wasn't having that trouble earlier on or yesterday. In through the switchbacks, punches it up to the step off. Double. Getting those a bit better this time through. And round for another one. So Ben pops himself back up into the 4th spot on this one. Nobody here looking like they're going to affect the top 10. Currently, 13th and 14th is what we're looking at the moment for the best of these guys.
Yeah. Everyone likes to look at their times.
There you go, lovely. Okay, Ben over the doubles again. Over the straight, over the bridge onto the straight. Oh, what on earth happened there? Just out of camera shot, so we couldn't see exactly what happened to the car, which is a bit of a shame, but had a nightmare at the end of the straight. Okay, so it's Elias Johansson that was leading us out in this one. It is Elias Johansson that's leading us out in this one. Just crossed the start-finish line to start the lap again. So we'll be early part of the lap. Around the step off there somewhere. Looking for car number 1. No, it's the 8. So Elias just about finishing the lap now. We're done anyway, don't worry. Don't worry, we are done with this one. So, Elias finishes with an 11 in a 5:23, only good enough for overall 20th. So, we'll be happy with that one. Actually, let's have a quick look and see how that's changed, because it's all changed again. Okay, so it does look like the list we've got up for the top 10 is going to be your A final, but we'll swap over onto Frank now for a bit of a chat.
Quick interview.
This again, a little technical issue on my part, but we're here with Jorn Neumann once again. 4 zeros, I think, are we saying 5 zeros now?
Probably, yeah. There's not everyone is finished yet, but I think so, yeah.
All right, so I mean, pretty solid TQ run for Jorn here in Utrecht. What would you put it down to? I mean, you were saying you love AstroTurf. You have a No More Hat. Yeah, a kind of a new off-road paint scheme. What would you say is a secret?
I don't know. Yes, I like to race on AstroTurf. It always fits my driving because you can attack a lot. And yeah, I don't know. I stopped using a hat a few years ago, and the paint scheme, yes, we changed it when I ran 12 scale to see it better, and then I liked it a lot, and so I keep using it also in off-road.
Okay. All right, well, there you go. Racer tips from Jorn Neumann, TQ here at the 1/10 Buggy Euros.
Oh, man. Spoilt with the interviews. Thank you very much for that, Frank. As I try and finish the last bit of my half a lunch there that's come through. Okay, Heat 7 up next. There are your drivers. So, Marian Beresh from the Ukraine. In we have got Heat 7 up next, right? Oh, yeah, Martin Owen and that. Okay, so Marian Beresh, Yolanda Weird, Martin Owen, Martin Scar, Alexandra Debrosis, Romain Lepap, Jonas Martins, Christian McConaughey, Rick Hamers, and Antonia Kowalski. Alrighty, let's see what Martin Owen's got. Let's give him a bit of time. A couple of laps of Martin, and then we'll take some requests if you guys have got them for this last bit. And see if we can get Martin in after he's finished his run for a bit of a chat in these last few heats. Martin being car number 3. There you go. Okay, Martin up to the flick back into the ripples, makes it through nicely. Slightly wide line coming out of there, but he'll be happy just to have made it through on his wheels. Double, single, single for Martin. Didn't have the run on to the second set of doubles to make it over, so played it safe to make sure he got through. And that has brought him round with an opening lap of 32.5. Okay, so we'll take Martin up to the line. Flicks it back onto the ripples again. Not quite making it through there like he wants to. Definitely needs that corner-to-corner line as he comes out of the switchback to go onto it. Doubles, single, single. And that lets the driver behind him go through. Oh, so that was Martin Scar going past him then. So let's go with Martin Scar. He's obviously going a bit quicker than Martin at the moment. So follow that one on in front. See how he gets on. Cleaner over the ripple section. Doubles it, see, making loads of time there. A single route is not the way to be making up time on the double section for sure. Makes it over there, just catches the down ramp, just makes the upslope. Gets around the off camber nicely though. flicks it back into the ripples. Now, is he going corner to corner? Yes, he is. And the time that saves was easy to see. And he's lost it all there on a bit of a crash. We'll have a replay on that one. Here he comes. Just catches the chassis of the car on a bad uplift on the up ramp there. And over he goes. So back through the opening section. Martin Owen's got back past. These two are going to be squabbling a little bit over track space. Martin Owen graciously crashes to give Martin Scar the space on track that he needs. Okay, let's have a look at the front. So Jonas Martin's car 7, please. Should be about halfway through the lap now. And literally finishing the lap nowish. Maybe one of those ones that's gone through. That's 7 there. There we go. Okay, so Jonas was leading this one on the last lap round. I'm guessing must have had a bit of a sticky lap last time through. Sort of 33-second lap last time out. 3 seconds off the normal sort of pace we have been seeing in this heat. Oh, nightmare of a situation. Okay, so these two cars just having a little bit of a time because they're both very evenly paced. Oh, there you go. So Jonas having a bit of a tumble at the top of the corner tabletop. A little bit of a nightmare. Not the worst place to be losing time, though, on that corner, because it's a pretty slow corner anyway. And now pushing up onto the back of Koenig, who lets him go. Down the drop-off into the nasty off-camber. Got about 45 seconds left of this one, so we'll see if we can... no, we'll just stick with him to the end now. Rick Hamer's on the last lap. Going in for his 10th. Certainly nobody here affecting the top 30 overalls. And most of them getting through for a 10-lap run. I think it's only really maybe the bottom 2 are going to get 9-lappers. Possibly. Oh no, everybody's going to get through for a 10. So there you go. Antonio Kowalski, 10 in a 5.10. 10 to 5.11 for Hamers. Lepap, 10 in a 5.14. Alexander Brosses, 10 to 5.11. 10 to 5.15 for Baresh. Jonas Martins, 10 in a 5.11 as well. So 3 drivers finishing in a 5.11. Christian McConaughey, 10 in a 5.18. Marion Baresh, 10 in a 5.15. So all of these guys and girls here not really affecting anything at the top end of the standings.
Heat 6 up next. Great to have you all watching along and commenting with us. Zanon Gauskar 79 says Brazil is watching. Awesome to have Brazil with us. Magnus Berglund, proud of the Swedish racers. BJ Williams, bit of a surprise that the defending champion Tommy Hall and the 5-time European champion Leon Martin will miss the A final. That is a surprise, isn't it? You would think two British drivers, one with legendary status of 5 European champions and one young gun, up-and-coming racer, hotshot who won last year, again on Astro, used to this surface, used to the wet. It's just not worked out for them. We'll get Frank to find out what's going on there soon. A shame not to see those two guys in the A final, and equally great to see Jorn back on top after a few years. He's won multiple championships over the years, as you will see in our previous finals clips that were released last night. You'll see, and in four-wheel drive, many times he was European champion, and then took a few years where Orlowski and Tommy, other drivers, swelled up through the ranks. But Jorn's back, but he hasn't won. He's just top qualified. He's got a long way to go to win. It's all to play for. 10 drivers who can take the title. And we'll know by 5 p.m. local time today, we will know who is the new European champion in 1/10th two-wheel drive off-road buggies. This is an EFRA championship, and we're coming to you live from Utrecht, and we're brought to you by X-Ray, Hobbywing, S-Works, Schumacher and Rudog.eu. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors for helping make this possible.
Oh, you were talking for such a long time then, I decided to have something to eat, and as soon as you put it in my mouth, and that was it, you stopped talking. So, it's 7 championships that Jorn's got between the two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive classes. Not as many as Craig Drescher, who I believe is on 11. In off-road. We're not worried about on-road for now.
12
but between two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive 10th off-road, that's how many championships he's got. So, many of these guys have championships, worlds, and in other classes. But as far as this class is concerned, Jorn is a 7-time champion across the classes here. So we're in Heat 6 at the moment. I think we've seen most of the guys from Heat 6, but I'll tell you what we will do is we will try and follow Kim Sitensky in car number 5 from Germany, please. So Kim is currently about halfway around the lap. Okay, there we go. So there's Kim going round. Currently second in this heat, predicted a 10 in a 5:04.5. Or 5:04 and a half, I should say. Nicely over the doubles. So we are going to see those doubles become more and more difficult for the drivers as we go down through these heats, I would imagine. So we've already seen a few drivers from the heat before this one, which would have been the higher heats from this one, of course, doing the single on some of the doubles just to play it safe and get over there without crashing. Kim certainly pushing that car. Oh dear. Luckily makes it back on between the last two doubles there, so that it doesn't need marshalling at all. Single double, lovely. Okay, so Kim just down into 4th after that last lap, a 31.9, so wrapping in the 29s and then does a 31.9, so a little bit outside of what we'd expect. And hence dropping down the order a little bit. So all of these guys and girls are super close on track in the overall times when it comes to it. Okay, so we've done a few laps now with Kim. We'll see if we can pick up the second place. We're currently running around in second place in this heat. Anyway, it's a Havlor Gran, and that would be car number 9. Should be not too far away from the end of the lap now. nice. Super Jim straight on it as ever. Does the hop up nicely. Havelock coming down now into a little bit of traffic. There might be... is that Freddie? It is Freddie Russell. He's just gone past there in the TLR. Okay, over the bridge, down the straight, around the first hairpin, up the second straight. Does the double nicely. Gets the step up. Avoids that car crash at the top. Some quick thinking there to get out of the way of that one. Nicely over the ripples. Carefully through the switchback section there. And hops it over the step through. Yeah, some great stuff. A few clean laps there coming through from Havelock. We've got about a minute left in this one. Okay, so Havelock there. We're just watching at the moment. About a minute left in this one. There's about 50 seconds left now. So we'll stick with Havelock for the time being. Oh, nightmare on the straight there. Oh, a little bit too keen with the accelerator. Marshall looked like he had some burnt fingers on the drop off of that car. Easily done when you're in a rush. We've all chopped a few Marshall's fingers off in our time. We haven't, of course. Don't do that if Marshall's got your car. Keep your car still until it's on the track. That's the best thing to do. Okay, so we're into final laps. Actually, I think Havelock's just finished there. Got caught at the line. Possibly onto one more, but I've got a funny feeling Havelock's finished. Yeah, finished now. So, yeah, annoyingly, the timing screen clock and the actual clock didn't quite match up again. So these guys just all finishing now. Havelock puts in a 10-lapper. Jamil Gabrielson an 11 in a 5:21. So affecting the top 20. Slots into 19th overall. Knocks Elias Johansson out of the top 20. Or does it? Because the timing screen has changed again. Okay. Well, I'll try and let you know where everybody is. All right then. So that is that one done and dusted. 5 more heats to go, and that will be qualifying done for the two-wheel drive portion of this event. And just to let you know, you are watching the EFRA 10th Buggy Euros for 2023. We're in Utrecht in the Netherlands at the Rayco 2000 facility. Of course, we are RC Racing TV. I'm Matt Guppy, your presenter or commentator for the weekend. We've got Matt McCallum over in the UK doing some wizardry. Not too sure if James Parry's with us today. He might be somewhere. But we've definitely got Frank McKinney here with us doing some social media stuff. And last but definitely not least, we have Wonder Jim up on the camera giving us a little wave there. Thank you all for joining us. We really, really appreciate your support. Likes, comments and shares. Please do share the live feed to anybody and anywhere you possibly can today. Get involved on the chat on Facebook or on YouTube. You're more likely to get a response on YouTube if I'm honest, but do feel free to have a chat with us through either of those platforms. Now, I think some of you guys are going to hear another voice that you probably recognise quite a lot in a moment. That being the one and only Emperor of everything, Martin Owen. Welcome. Let's just let Martin have a bit of a headset.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It does seem interesting is definitely a word for it.
I bet RC Racing TV have never had a pair of Somerset boys in their thingy, have they? Yeah.
Not since the last Euros.
No, that's true. You're not as you are as I am. You're a bit more better spoken than me.
I put it on for this, and it occasionally you get a Somerset word come out of me. It sneaks in, but I do try and tame it down if I can. How are you getting on out there, mate?
It's tough.
It looks tough.
It's hard. It's. I'm going to say it's, and this is going to sound like a right wussy thing. I'd say it's actually too hard. When the top guys are can't get it round for 5 minutes clean, it's a bit too much of an obstacle course, a bit too hard.
Yeah.
You know, you can't take away. The guys have put the hard work in. They've built track. Never take any of that away. We all know how it feels. Me and Matt especially well, having been involved in local clubs and etc. And then with the fun that is the national series. But
rather you than me.
Yeah, it's good fun. But yeah, this is maybe. I think there's a few alterations they could have made out there that I think would have made it just that much bit better, and would have made it a bit more raceable. I mean, I don't know what you think, Matt. Finals, it could be carnage.
I think it will be carnage for some of them. For definite, it will be carnage. Now it's difficult. So the rhythm section's what's catching everybody out. The rest of the track doesn't seem too bad, but the ripples, the first set of single doubles or triples, and the doubles here are costing people an awfully large amount of time.
The ripples are hard because it's coming at you, so you can from the rostrum, depending, you can't even really see how many there are.
Right.
And I've kind of today just been accelerating down the hill, let off, and just let the car hop. And if you get the acceleration, I think maybe 80% right down the hill, it lands in the right place. But it's almost a shut your eyes moment and go, ooh, and it lands. But and the doubles in front of us here, they are tough, and you got to know. I think with the second one, if you get the first one on, you got to know when to pull up.
Absolutely.
And put your big boy pants on and just roll the second two. I mean, it feels horrible because you can just hear the time going.
Yeah. You know, but
you'd
hear it going more if you were upside down,
right?
100%.
100%. The triples in front of the rostrum, certainly different ways to do them. I like to double it and single it. The fast guys like to single it and double it. I just find it easier doing it that way. And it's funny when you look down as the heat start getting lower, you see more people doing the double and then the single.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's another Euros. It's probably the toughest one I've been to.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think... I thought the one that's... Ongaro won. Was it Italy?
Oh, in Pinerolo.
Yeah, I thought that one looked like a really difficult track, to be honest.
The back section was hard because, again, it was an 8th track.
Yeah.
But it was a weird 8th track because it was almost not big enough for 8th, but too big for 10th.
Yeah.
And the jumps at the back were particularly tough.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need to get on 10th tracks.
And let's not forget, as far as on the scale of hard Euros go, how would you compare this to Reims?
This is harder.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the heat in Reims was the killer, and maybe some of the lap counting situations.
Yeah.
But this is as a team manager, this has been the hardest event I've done with drivers, not having a good time. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have any Brits in the A, which I think is like the first time in maybe 20 odd years we've not had a Brit in the A.
Madness.
As a GBT manager, that hurts right now, and it doesn't feel great. I know not much I can do to get them in the A, but we're a team. We're pitting over there. Everyone's working as a team.
Yeah.
Nobody cares who you drive for.
No.
They really don't. Everyone's putting down everyone's cars. Everyone's trying to pep everybody up. It's hard going, and especially it's on Astro, which is our preferred kind of surface.
Yeah, it's like you said earlier in the week, though, when I chatted to you before, and you said that the grip level here is similar to, obviously for the guys that race in the UK a lot would know the Torch track.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the grip at Torch. So
yeah.
I think what most of the UK guys are used to is slightly higher grip levels than that.
Yeah. I mean, we go to Boughton, which is very low grip. It's a bit like, like Tiverton. It is very low grip. This is okay. You can get on the power. You can get it down.
Yeah.
Because you need it. I mean, most of us, I'm using a 5.5 out there.
What?
Yeah, but what you do is you turn it all down, but you need the oomph to get over the jumps.
Yeah.
So you run a 5.5, put it into
in
almost
your two-wheel drive. It's a 5.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's all turned down. It's just for that initial bang to get over the jumps.
Yeah, of
and
course.
You know, I think Bruno was running a 4.5 at one point.
Wow.
Yeah. You don't need the speed. There's no straight.
No.
But you need it. You need it out of the corners, and you need it to get over the jumps. But it doesn't feel. It's, as you said, because it's low grip, and I think you're spinning the wheels. It doesn't feel like a 5.5. It feels like a 7.
Yeah.
It's really strange. But I think four-wheel drive will go the other way. I think where we use a 5.5, it will go to like a 6.5. But yeah, it's and it's different manufacturers leading today with an S-Works, and you know it's all over the place at the top, which is great. You got an A final full of different manufacturers, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to the finals, as I'm sure everybody is.
Yeah, of course.
Not looking forward to any drama. We don't want drama. But
it's great. Drama's great for us.
To be fair, it'd be great for me because it ain't going to come in any British drivers. So
that's true.
Although I am team manager for Mr. Orlowski as well with Poland, so I will probably get involved maybe in something.
You love being involved.
I just love it. I'm just the 6 beers I had last night just were not enough.
So how come you weren't on your ass this morning, on your back this morning like I was?
On my back?
I had 2 beers last night.
Did you? I had about 6 bottles of Corona, but I think it was more just to soak up dehydration. You just don't drink enough in here. No. And it's not that hot, but it's just... And it's the walking. I don't know about you. I'm doing like 20,000 steps a day, and this fat man can't take that. My knees and my hips feel like they've been in a fight.
You need a job like this one, because I certainly don't do 20,000 steps a day. Oh, yeah. So temperature update for you guys. It is 27.1 in here. Hottest we've had it's 32.9, nearly 33 degrees in the burger van.
Really? Well, it's a burger van, isn't it? It's very burgery, but very nice. But yeah, so there we go. You know, it's another Euros in the book, and
it is.
And I'm quite looking forward to, I think, Saturday. as I think most of the UK team are. I've got to go and get their morale up a little bit for four-wheel drive and get some smiles on their faces.
When are you heading back then? What's your plans for the return trip?
Sunday.
Oh,
up early, drive down to Channel Tunnel, just go across. It's not too bad, it's a 4-hour drive, so it's okay. It's about, and then obviously, as you know, it's 3 hours back to good old Somerset.
Yeah, so, wow.
But yeah, what about yourself, flying?
We are flying back, so we have, when we finish here on Saturday... after the last heat's done, we've got 40 minutes to pack everything up.
Right.
And then that leaves us just enough time to get to the airport before our flight leaves.
Oh.
So 40 minutes to pack the bags, get everything in the car, get on the road for, 20-25 minutes or so.
Minutes, yeah.
And that's it. We are at check-in time.
Nice.
Any delays?
Are you back to Bristol?
We're in trouble. No, Gatwick.
Oh, okay. Well, and you got to drive back from there.
Yeah. Oh. So I'll land probably about 9ish, I think.
Oh, about 12.
About midnight, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you love it.
I do.
You love it.
I do love it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Exactly. No, it's good. It's yeah, it's all right. And I think everyone at home. Is there anyone at home that thinks this track does look easy? I would love to see most of them drive it, though. Yeah. I've had a few comments going, it doesn't look that bad. You know, you come and have a go.
I mean, if you look at it on the screen here, it looks like we said earlier in the week. It looks like a carpet, right?
Yeah.
It looks flat. It doesn't look like there's too many bumps. The cars, because obviously they're set up very, very well by you're talking multiple, just national champions galore.
Yeah.
So these guys know how to set these cars up for the track to make them look settled and make them look like they're going around well.
No, they do. I mean, we've had some really good help with Lee Martin and Michael and Trish getting our cars to where they do feel nice. The car feels okay. Yeah. It's just, you do some tracks and you can just hit the same spot every lap and you get into that rhythm and that sort of coordination. It's hard to find out here. It's hard to get a rhythm. Yeah. And then you get into one and you catch a back marker and it completely goes again. But it's been a tough day. I don't know. I think I'm going to finish somewhere in the 60s or 70s maybe. But I'm old, semi-retired. This will be my last year as racing.
Yeah?
I'm done.
Oh, come on. Never say never.
I'm done. It's done. I'm going to the Worlds. I'm not racing, just as team manager. And
nice.
then just carry on with the Nationals. I mean, the National Series is going really well. So we got another one of those in a couple of weeks.
So have you got to the point then? Do you remember when we spoke a number of years ago and I said that I'd spoken to Paul Worsley, and this was back when I was running Mendip.
Yeah.
And he said to me, the thing is, what you'll find is you're either going to race or you're going to organise. And if you try and do both, they both suffer.
Yeah.
Do one or the other. And I obviously had to choose
Yeah.
what I'm doing now, kind of thing, because the racing clearly wasn't going to get me as far as
Yeah.
I thought it was going to. But I mean, is that the point you've got to, where you're finding that the racing is not that it's like a problem, but just that it does naturally interfere both with each other?
So last year, National Series, I struggled. Really did. And I think first year being chairman, making sure everything was going to get, really struggled.
Mm.
I make you laugh. So we're going into the second issue. I'm actually having my best ever national year.
Oh, yeah?
I think I'm sat in four-wheel drive. I'm sat 40th.
Wow. Okay.
And in two-wheel drive, I'm sat 52nd. So I'm having when I look at the points and go back through the years, I'm actually having my best year. But I think that's a lot down to, I do my driver's briefing and I hand the meeting over to our vice chairman, John Cockhill, and Mark Musgrove, who does the timing. And I just walk away and race.
Yeah.
And I get involved in nothing. Unless the only time I'd get involved is if someone got hurt, if there was an accident on site, then you would. But as far as any racing decisions, no, I'm just there to race.
Yeah.
Where I do struggle with that is this year I feel a bit guilty because you do this driver's briefing, you're all going to behave, and now I'm going to make sure this guy makes you behave. See you guys, I'm going off racing. And I do struggle with it a bit, but they're like, no, that's
your job.
But for the flip side of that, I think being a racer helps you maybe make some better decisions because you know what it's like.
Mm.
You know, and I think when you're picking national tracks, not that I get to pick or vote on any, but you know, you tend to know what to look out for as a racer.
Yeah.
And I think that needs doing further on. Sure, yeah. So, you know, and I think even at a higher level, we need to get racers or even people, older racers, more involved in the organisation of these events. You know, it's great we got the legend that is Craig Drescher here, and you know, I speak to Craig quite a lot about how it used to be and ideas, and he's great because he sees the evolution in it, and he comes up with great sort of ideas. And, you know, and speak to Neil and Lee and all them quite a bit. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and it does need it. It does need those guys because that's the experience that pushes the sport on for what it is.
It is 100%. Is this heat 2 or 3?
This will be heat 4.
Heat 4. Okay. Joey's not up yet because he's seated so low. He's in 2. I think I.
And the thing is, everybody knows it's about fastest lap, right?
It is about the fastest lap. Yeah, not even looked. I've just looked. The aim of the day has been get 10 laps in.
Yeah,
I did it in the first round yesterday, and then I did like slow 9s, and then today I've done 2 10s, and I just come off. I had a little bit of a fist punch.
We saw, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of because it's hard. I mean, it's rewarding. That's the flip side of it. When you come off and you've had a good run, it's not kind of at places like Robin Hood, some of the fast tracks. You come off going, yeah, I've nailed that, really good. Oh, look, man, I'm 65th.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, I can't go any faster than that. But yeah, it's certainly interesting. So, yeah, I think you don't have the YouTube feed there with all the questions on it.
I haven't got it. Matt's got it. Have we got any questions coming in, Matt?
Loads of questions.
Loads. Matt McCallum. He's
Go on, let's hear some questions for Martin Owen. You just said you're a legend, the legend, the emperor of everything. Just said Matt McCallum is a legend.
There's a load of questions, but they're in French. Can we follow car number 8? That's more of a request than a question.
I love it.
Oh, Adam Skelding, my old mate Adam Skelding says, "Cheer up, Emperor." I could be there. So I suppose it could be worse.
That is true. That is very true. There's lots of roadworks in Amsterdam, so I'm sure he'd enjoy that. He'll know exactly what I mean.
I've actually found it really easy. I thought it was going to be a nightmare to drive around, but I've actually found the way the traffic works here really, really easy.
Well, the traffic's good. The boat we have to take to our room maybe a bit different.
You've got to get a boat to your room.
So I booked the room for 6 of us, or the house for 6 of us. What I didn't read, and I didn't see it on the fine print either, is it's on an island. So we have a rowboat to get to our house.
No way.
Straight up. There's videos on Facebook. Yeah, we have to row a boat about 20 meters to our accommodation. But I said to the guys that I'm sharing with, they've come for an adventure and we've got a boat. What more could you want?
Of course. So,
I saw that on Booking.com when I was booking Matt's hotel. I was intrigued. I was so tempted to book it.
Oh, you should have. I'd love to see Matt rowing across the channel.
Well, give Matt something else to moan about. I don't think so.
It was, it's okay. When you get home at night, it's quite nice and it's tranquil and a big lake. But in the morning at 6 o'clock, you're like,
oh man.
But what it has stopped, which is good, because there's like 6 or 7 of us in there, it stops people taking their car stuff home and wrenching at night. So we actually do have a social evening rather than everyone sat there working on their cars. So it's got its flip side. No one's fallen in yet. I'm surprised it didn't last night.
Give it time.
Give it time. Someone might get pushed in, probably Joey Cockhill by the end of the week. But yeah, so it's all good.
Yeah, all good. Nice. That's been brilliant.
No worries, mate. Well, let's go and I'm going to go and watch Joey now and get something to eat, and then a team managers meeting in 10 minutes.
Go on, I'll tell you what. When he's finished, if you want to give him a shout when he's done his marshalling, get him to pop in.
I will.
The last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I will. He can't speak English, but we'll try.
I know he can't, but we got to give everyone a fair crack at the whip.
No, excellent. All right, I will see you in a bit. Cheers, Matt.
Good luck, mate.
See you in a bit.
See you
soon.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
There we go. Emperor of Everything joins us for a little bit. Gives us a few tips and tricks and info on the track. Obviously very, very happy to have his 2 10-lappers in this morning, and I think a lot of people would be happy with those as well. You've seen a few heats go through whilst we had Martin on. We're coming into heat number 3 now. And in heat number 3, who have we got here? Who do we have in heat number 3, Matt? I will tell you. Lucas Didier is in car 1. Peter Stein's car 2. Luke Didier. Car number 3, Stephen Martins is car number 4. Harriet Thames 5. Mike Moyes is in the 6th car. Chris Bowden is in the 7. Sven Ruddick, of course, of Rodog.eu is in car number 8. And Miklos Sabados is in car number 9. So any requests out there, please get them in right now, because otherwise we're not going to see them and we're just going to follow who we want to follow.
Got you 3 requests.
What?
Yeah, 3. Well, 2 are for Didier, but there's 2 Didiers.
There's go on.
Car 3 Didier and car 1 Didier, so we need car 3 and car 1 and also car 6.
3, 1 yes. And Mike Moyes. Okay.
Oh, and 8.
Paul Worsley, can you just put this up to an 8-minute qualifier, please, so we can follow everyone?
Yeah.
Who else was it? So Ruddick as well?
Yes, please.
Okay. Right, so let's go with car 1, which will be Lucas Didier to start with. I'm going to stand up,
and
Frank.
Car 5. We had a request for car 5 Harriet as well.
Oh my goodness!
From Aaron Nash.
Right, I'm going to get all. I'm going to get them all in. I'm going to get all of them.
Are you going to do that?
Every single one. Right, you have 1 minute with Lucas Didier. Okay. So there you go. That's Lucas. Off he goes. Minute on the clock for Lucas. Oh, a bit of a tight slipper there. Popping a wheelie as he comes down the second half of the straight. Flicks it back round. Into the... Oh, dear. Over he goes. I didn't catch the replay on that one because I'm stood up. Sorry about that.
Use your toe.
Use my toe? I don't know what you said then.
Yeah, I did. I did say that.
Okay. It's all good. That's what I heard. So that's what I did. Towed it. Right, Lucas over the double. Hops up into the back tabletop. Does a bit of a spin. Well, I can definitely catch that one. Hops up onto the back tabletop. Sideways landing. Spins it over into the corner. And into the barrier he goes. So once we're round at the end of this lap, if we can find car number 3 of Loic Didier. So Loic's going to be not far off the end of the lap now. So should be probably coming over the doubles at some point. It's the car 3 we want. There we go. So Loic will take us round for a couple of laps. He does the same sort of spinny crash. Oh, Marshall's there. Almost got his hand chopped off. So these guys trying to get up through that together. Loic has a tumble. Other car just goes in. Marshall's there. And everybody survived it. It was good. So Loic doing the double-double. Plenty of time to be saved there by doing both of those doubles. As Martin Owen said, though, sometimes you've got to bottle it and survive it and stay on your wheels. My words rather than Martin's. Well, Gary Ennis used to say that to me. Bottle it and survive it, Gups. Bottle it and survive it. Make sure you get round the next lap. Okay, so we will take Loic up to the line. And then we're going to find the number 5 car. He will just about be finishing the lap now. So should be just about... Is that behind Loic there? Number 5? It is. There we go. There's Harriet. Oh, let's have a bit of that. That's how you do an overtake. One goes low, one goes high. Always take the high road, that's what I say. Oh, they literally could have had another replay on that bit as well. We cut back in at the wrong time. So, eagerly marshalled by the marshal there. There was certainly no hanging about with that one. Two minutes left. Oh, my goodness me. And we've still got 2 cars to see. So, we want Mike Moyes next. Let's see if we can find car number 6 of Mike Moyes, who's probably about halfway through his lap now. I think you might be right. Maybe the one behind that. Or is that it? Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah, stick with that black one. Okay, so this is Mike Moyes. Currently running around at the back of the field. Really, really wide line over the off-camber corner there. Nicely through the ripples, though. Plays it safe going through the switchbacks. Up to the step-off. That's past the crash car in front of him. Single, single. Single, single. Lot of time lost on that. Okay, so minute left to go. We're going to go around a little bit more of this lap. And then we're going to try and find the 8 car of Sven Ruddick, who's currently running around in 8th. So Sven won't be too far back from where you are, actually. If you go back through the track, you should come across Sven in the number 8. There he is. So no, one in front of that. The yellow we want. That's the 8. So there's Sven. Ruddick.eu. And we'll follow Sven for his last lap, because I'd imagine this is certainly going to be the last one. Okay, so I told you we get them all, and we got them all. Just move that away from my nose there, otherwise I start sounding up like Russ Lee on the mic. Okay. So Sven actually takes this one with a 10 in a 5.22. Peter Stein comes in next. 10 in a 5.23. 10 in a 5.25 for Lucas Didier. And then everybody else drops into the 9 lappers after that. So top 3 all taking that 10 lap pace that Martin Owen was on about. Of course, they'd be desperate for an 11 if they could get it in. 2 more heats to go. Some say the most interesting heats.
Some. Oh, they seem to be the heats with the most requests.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what requests have we got for heat 2? Being that this is the heat with Archie Bowman, Victor Levenko, Co Middlecoop, John Morreals, Thomas Lepap, Brian Preddy, Robert Scar, Joe Cockhill, and Cyril Castaldo in. How many requests can we have, Matt?
Oh well, this one just 8 and 9. Oh, 8, which is Cockhill. 9, which is Castaldo, and Miklos. Oh. Is Miklos in this one?
No,
that's a late one.
A bit of a late one there. Sorry about that. And we certainly wouldn't have had time to get anybody else in on that last one.
The debate's still raging about the hardness of the track. Chris Olsen, what makes the track difficult? Dom Tranquilio, high grip, bumpy surface, and big jumps.
If they will let me, I will try and get somebody's car and do a couple of laps in between the break. I'm not sure if they're going to. They've never let me at any of the other Euros I've been to. But just to prove to you guys that an ordinary chump like me is going to really struggle to get round this track, I'll see if I can get somebody's car and we'll see if we can get it on video of it going round, because then you'll understand. Then you'll see how difficult it is. These guys are seasoned racers. I mean, you could go up against any of these guys in the national, and if you're just your normal level racer, it's probably the majority, 99.5% of these guys are going to, put you down a peg or two in the finishing order. This is a difficult track, make no mistake about it. It is grippy, it is bumpy. There are rhythm sections that if you get wrong, you lose huge amounts of time. The jumps are not small. If you crash, the risk of a break is enormous, and that's pretty costly. Not just on time, not just on your place in the competition, but for your wallet as well. So it's a tough track, you stood up on that rostrum, you haven't necessarily, it's actually pretty good, to be fair. He's actually pretty good from up there. You can see all the bits of the track easy enough, but you can't see some of the up ramps. Jumps normally on a track make more sense if you're going from left to right. So if you're jumping from side to side, rather than jumping away from you or towards you, it's much more difficult to judge that distance. And all of these jumps, pretty much apart from the triple, the first triple at the end of the 2 straights, all of these jumps are jumping towards you or away from you. You've got up ramps where your car disappears, so you can't really judge the speed of it going in. The step up on the back right-hand corner, Bruno Coelho, multiple world champion in different classes, multiple European champion. Bruno, one of the most rounded drivers in the world, is saying that it's difficult. So it's a tough track. Don't make any mistake about it. These guys are top-end drivers. Even Martin Owen, even the Emperor of Everything, Martin's a good RC car driver. Really good. But he's struggling out there. I mean, Martin would put me to shame on a track, and probably a lot of the people out there listening, to be honest. But Martin's really struggling. A great driver in the UK. Many times have I seen him absolutely spank people at sort of regionals and stuff. But here, it's a different bag. It is a tough track. It's Astro, yes. It's consistent, yes. The track's dry, yes. Get that. But it's certainly not easy. Don't make that mistake of thinking these guys can just come out here, bang any old car down with any old tyres on, and they'll just be able to put it round and win. And I would challenge anybody else to jump on a plane and come on out and see if you can put a faster lap down than a 27.3 from Orlowski. There you go. How's that for an answer?
Yeah, very eloquent.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's have a look who's leading this one. It's Archie Bowman that's leading this one out. Just about to finish his lap. I'd imagine we're on him now, actually. One of these cars here. It should be the number 1 car. So let's stick with Archie if we can. There you go. There's Archie's car. Okay, Archie through the double doubles. Nicely around the hairpin there, over the bridge, onto the straight. Flicks it around for the first roller, then doubles. Nicely done. Jumps up onto the hop up. And around the corner tabletop. There's a bit of loose Astro there that flicked up. So corner to corner. Hey, Archie gets over there nice and clean. Coming up on a back marker now. Oh, just gets away with that one. As the back marker, I don't know who that was, but they skidded sort of back end of the car, came out a little bit. Archie's managed to get himself round it nicely. So 2 minutes left. Your penultimate heat of the week for two-wheel drive. Let's see if we can find car number 8 of Joey... No, let's not find car number 8 of Joey Cockle because he hasn't done any laps at all, which is very disappointing. We did want to follow him, but never mind. Who else was it that we had the request for? Was car number 9. So let's see if we can find car number 9. So Cyril Costaldo just started his lap. He won't be far away from the start there. That's Archie, so might be a bit in front of Archie. One of those two possibly is 9. That's a 2. There you go. So Cyril Costaldo will stick with Cyril until the end. Okay, single double. There's the hop up corner tabletop. No bit of loose Astro coming up that time. Must be a certain line it's on. So corner to corner. No, it's straight over. Flicks the back end of the car up on that last bobble. See? Just a little bit of a waste of time there. But if you can get the line right, if you can go from the sort of corner to corner on it and go diagonal across the bobbles, it does save quite a bit of time as we're seeing. You need the car to come out of those jumps as settled as it can be. These two-wheel drive cars, obviously driven just by the rear axle, pretty sprightly and lively on the track. So you've got to make sure they stay as settled as you possibly can, because they are the most stable when they're under acceleration, weirdly. It kind of pulls them into the floor. Okay, around we go. So Cyril now, I believe, going into his last lap. On for a 10. A few of these guys on for 10s, actually. What have we got? Maybe 3, 4. Yeah, 4 of them. Four of this seat on for a 10 lapper, which isn't shabby. Okay, that will be Cyril done. Finishes 10 laps in 5:21. So best one in that one was Archie Bowman, 10 in a 5:03. He'll be devastated to have lost out on 11 lapper there. Thomas Lepap, 10 in a 5:17. Cyril, as we said, 10 in a 5:21. And the last one into the 10 laps was Victor Litvienko, and that is a 10 in a 5:28.9. Everybody else into the 9s, 8s, or 0s. Excuse me whilst I just grab a quick drink of water.
James White is ordering Alec Springer to get back to work. Plenty of people watching us from work. I think we actually help productivity. I think motivational sounds of Matt's voice and the cream of the continent all racing together on this glorious track. It can only be motivational and can only aid positive and valuable work ethic. So, yeah.
Well, when you are looking at the cream of Europe, Matt, you can't help but be enthused by it, that's for sure. And with the final heat of qualifying about to take the main stage, we will see Dick Dawn in car 1, Marcus Veyer in the 2, Carl Volta in the 3, Nigel Van Katwijk in the 4, Kenny Arts in the 5, Victor Horsfield in the 6, Lena Hurtgen in the 7, Volodymyr Fedorenko in the 8, and Daniel Tonneson in the 9.
Thank you to Schumacher, S-Works, Hobbywing, X-Ray and Rudog.eu. This coverage of the EFRA 10th 2-wheel drive off-road European Championships is made all the better for you guys. So thank you so much for your support, enabling us to make it that much better. But of course, this is an EFRA event, so big thanks to EFRA for having us as RC Racing TV as their media partner. Very glad to be coming to you live from Utrecht in the Netherlands.
It's a lovely place to be, Matt. It's a lovely place to be. Me and Frank were absolutely blown away at the town last night. Such a picturesque place.
Oh, right, okay.
Not blown away in the town, blown away by the town. By the look of the town.
Okay.
Moving on. 28.8 degrees centigrade for all of you, those of you that are keen on the temperature in the Burger van today.
It's going down
nicely under the desk. Well, I think we were 27.2 when I last read it out, so slightly up. But 32.9 was the high, Matt. 15.9, by the way, was the low. Who would have wanted to have been here then? I can't imagine it being 15 degrees somewhere. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe to RC Racing TV on YouTube. Click the little bell and you will get notifications whenever we do content, which is all of the time. All the time. There's always content going on.
Elliot Boots has been watching and he's asked,
wow.
Who's overall TQ? Is it Jorn? And
it is.
He's very helpfully answered by Ami SMB. Yes, TQ, Jorn TQ'd all rounds. So, yes, Elliot, you're not here, but your teammate has put in a fantastic performance.
Good stuff. It would have been good to have seen Elliot here. It would have been good to see him. Did quite a lot of online gaming with Elliot whilst we were in lockdown. Did a few sort of sim races and stuff and a bit of Warzone-y type things. Oh, Frank has got something to say. Hold on. Hold your socks, everyone.
I've got the dirt on Elliot Boots. No, I don't. I have the dirt on Ronnefout.
I'm not gasping for that.
I talked to Adrien Bertin about him, and basically...
we lost a wheel on a wheel. Carry on. Carry on.
I didn't see Bertin lose a wheel, but anyway, obviously we posted about him actually winning a touring car race with an Osmatics chassis very recently.
Okay.
And obviously he's sponsored by Mayako for 1/8 Buggy, and basically he doesn't have a chassis sponsor, and he was just too busy basically with his main sponsor, which is Mayako.
Wait, David Ronnefout doesn't have a sponsor in off-road?
He didn't have a tire sponsor until this year.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I think
so
that's more of a
free
choice
to run anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably a better scenario competitively. But anyway, it didn't stop him from winning the on-road nationals in Sweden.
No.
Running Nitro 1/10 and 1/8 on-road last weekend and winning.
So going for the Bruno.
Yes.
But it was had a few minutes to chat with Bertin earlier. So I was obviously had to ask.
Nice, good bit of info there, Frank.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We always like that sort of thing. Okay, so let's see if we can find Marcus Veyer, who's leading us around in this one. Let's be car 2, should be about halfway around the lap. Sure, sorry if that's actually who you were with then. Not too sure if it was or not. So Veyer shouldn't be too far away from finishing the lap now. Yeah, easily done. That jump does tend to throw you off quite a bit if you're not getting the tight line on it. But again, getting too tight means that you hit that little bit of track marker there on the left-hand side of the jump as you were coming up to it. And it really throws the car off. So there is a small section to get over that jump nicely. And it's on the sort of driver's side, if you like, rostrum side of the jump. You've probably got, I reckon, about a couple of feet that side of the jump. Yeah, you see that? Oh, you're not on that one, but a couple of feet that side of the jump, and the cars tend to land a bit straighter. Anything more over towards the wall ride side of that little bobble, and they're kind of getting flicked all over the place, really. We'll see now. It comes through, so yeah, you see that was slightly more to the right. They can get a bit tighter. The cars come out of it just that little bit flatter. Like I said a minute ago, it's keeping the car stable on your landings, on your takeoffs, and through the corners and everything. That's what really gives you the speed with these guys, because the cars are so highly strung now for speed, cornering speed and acceleration, that you've got to make sure they're settled. You've got to make sure the shocks are doing the right thing. Oh, a few cars there, just got past them quite nicely. So left-hand side, car was perfectly flat going over that. Double-doubles, double-single-singles, just to make sure he's got through it safe. Minute left to go in this one. Oh! Champion's crash there onto his wheels. Takes a nice tight line around the off-camber, corner to corner on the ripples. Through the switchbacks. There you go. Keeping that tighter left-hand side of the jump. Those sort of couple of feet this side of it really do give you a much better exit off of that step over. So we can switch on to the camera 2 in a second when we've got a few cars coming through it. So I'm going to flick over to the other camera now so you can see these next two come over the jump. And then just not quite, you can't see it particularly well there. We're going to get another one come through, see if it hits the right hand side. Yeah, you've got to be that that sort of left hand side, otherwise you're just getting flicked out. There we go. Okay, so these guys are finishing as they cross the line now. Marcus Veyer takes that one, the 10 in a 5:21. Nigel van Katwijk, the only one in the 10 lappers with a 10 in a 5:23. But fastest of the rest is Lena Hurtgen with a 9 in a 5:06. So only a few seconds out from getting the 10th lap in. As we know, that 6 seconds there is a matter of 2 crashes. You're losing roughly 3 seconds a crash on this track, unless the marshals aren't getting to you quick enough, of course. And that, my friends, is what they call that. So that is qualifying over. We'll have a look at your overall top 10. So nothing really affected there for the top 10. In those last few heats. So Newman takes the overall TQ for the event. Michael Orlowski second. We have Marcus Kerup in the 3 spot. Davide Ongaro in the 4. Wesley Van Helmond in the 5. Birak Kilik in the 6. Clement Boda sneaks it into the 7 spot. Daniel Kobovic, of course, we'd expect to see him somewhere near the top, is in the 8. Alexander Landon, 9th overall. He wanted a top 20. He's got a top 10. Bruno Coelho, though, just sneaks himself into the back of the A final. So we've got Lee Martin as BQ. Mika Widmeyer second in the B. And then we've got Tommy and Jamie Hall, respectively, following those two up. Una Hatton, 15th. Martin Bayer, 16th overall. Noah Ben Mohammed, a young chap, has squeaked himself into 17th overall, so 7th in the B. 8th in the B is Luke Holdsworth. Jamil Gabrielson is 9th in the B. And rounding out your B final is Mats Gotzel. We've got a few that we would not be expecting in the C final. So the likes of Elias Johansson, Josh Holdsworth, Neil Cragg in the C, Hubert Honegel in the C, Ben Smith in the C, Jesper Rasmussen 6th in the C. We've got a few more. So Florent Gallot 27th, Sen Powell's 28th, and Baptiste Roche is 29th. I'll just see if I can move that down a little bit to get you a few more scores there. No, I can't, so I'm not going to mess with it too much, because otherwise it might just all go away, and we don't want that to happen. So there we go. There's a bit of a break now.
Yeah, we're going to actually end this stream, and we're going to start a final stream, which will be going live. Well, it will be going live at 3:20 local time, 2:20 in the UK. Other times are available in other time zones.
Are we going to do the practice A final, or do you want to just live that onto the EFRA page?
You could do that live, because we'll be getting lots of nice B-roll of the cars for montages that we wouldn't be able to get usually of them in a final situation. So Frank will be getting lots of nice B-roll, maybe Jim as well. But yeah, I think that would be a good one to watch out for on the EFRA Facebook page. I think that would be cool.
Sounds awesome. Sounds awesome to me. Okay, well, guys, that is it. That is your qualifying over for the two-wheel drive portion of this event. Thank you so much for joining us. We've been here in association with Schumacher Hobbywing, X-Ray, Rudog.eu and S-Works. You've been watching qualifying for the two-wheel drive EFRA 10th Buggy Euros 2023 from Utrecht in the Netherlands, and we are at the Rayco 2000 facility. I've been Matt Guppy. That guy there has been Frank McKinley. He's been Wonder Jim on the camera. We don't know where James is, but that there and the voice you're about to hear and say goodbye is the awesome and revered Matt McCallum.
Goodbye.